Seeing as it's been a hot minute since the last escape route stream, I felt that I needed to play something particularly loud and zany. Is the stream showing up for everybody? It's listed as public. Okay. That's good enough for me. Right. Hey, Draven. Right. Couple of things I need to do. Number one, set the microphone on. Yep, that's the one. Thing number two, I need to activate the voice lobby. Inner circle is active. Voice inner circle is active, and the tab is not muted. And one more thing, I need to switch to game. Alright, everything appears to be working. Okay. I just need to make adjustments to my television volume. Hopefully the fan in the background isn't too loud. It is there and it's constant, but it doesn't appear to be too loud. I haven't streamed in like a week, so do forgive me, I've been ill. I figured I would just fire the voice lobby up and see what happens today. Just, yeah, voice lobby open for the first time since the Dreamcast stream that we don't talk about. Where everything went to shit. Oh, should we start with that then? So, what was it? Super Mario Bros. 2 Master Quest. Okay. I can't promise I'll be any good at Super Mario Bros. 2, but I'll give it a go. Of course, being NES Online, B and A are mixed up, which makes it nice and complicated. Who have I got? Who's jumped into the voice lobby? It's Matzo, but I don't hear Matzo. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Hey, Matzo.
Hi, sorry my AirPods were messing up my microphone.
Let's see if I can get your volume up somehow.
Yay.
Oh gosh, this hack is bullshit. It ain't lying about being a Master Quest. Nope, I don't think I can raise you any higher.
Okay.
You're coming through very quiet.
Like, put in my AirPods and see if that fixes anything.
Because, I mean, I can sort of hear you. Sort of. You're like, I'll set my microphone to something, and then I couldn't hear the rest. Nope, he's gone. Ripping pepperonis, Matzo.
Hello?
There we go, that's better, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I just had to plug in some headphones.
Yes! It works, thank God.
Yo! It's Paper!
Hi, Paper.
Hello.
Long time no hear from.
Yep.
Because the voice lobby hasn't been open.
That and I've been busy working over this.
Ah yes, you've been doing those crazy 12-hour days that no human should do, but you have your reasons.
And night shifts as well.
Oh god. And night shifts. You're a nut.
I don't have the joy of working.
There will be a time when you need money, and you can't rely on the universe to give you winning scratch cards. You have no choice but to work.
That'll be me, and that'll probably be me in about a week or so. Well, find a new job up in Glasgow, and not the one near.
Why have you been fired?
No, no, more like I can't, like I cannot work and be up in Glasgow.
Ah,
It's way,
it's a location
way
thing.
yes. But what they don't know won't kill them. So if they need me, I can always say, yeah, I can take next shift if you. As long as uni doesn't get in the way anyway.
Well, yeah, that's the one. For me, everything else gets in the way. Work gets in the way of everything that I want to do.
I probably would work, but I still need to wait for my national insurance numbers. If I just like find a job in the local shop.
So you don't have... Whoa! That was an interesting effect. The hell is that? Some of these graphical changes are confusing the hell out of me. This hack is weird.
I have no clue what's going on.
I'm playing a Super Mario Bros. 2 hack called the Master Quest, which seems like a really smart thing to do when I'm not very good at Super Mario Bros. 2.
Oh, there's a new camera angle, or is that just because you're playing it? Or the...
Oh, the webcam. That's because the webcam's over there. Hello.
I see. Yeah, I thought that.
Background doesn't look blurred enough. I distinctly remember blurring it. There we go. It's a bit too blurred now.
The new YouTube update for the subscriber count's really annoying.
Yeah, pisses me off not having an accurate subscriber count.
3.15k.
Mm.
It should just be like blank point blank, not.
Yeah, the number is irrelevant now. They've made sub counts irrelevant. Congratulations, YouTube, you done fucked it up.
Darn Siri.
Are the bombs meant to do that?
I was going to say, of course they do that when my channel starts getting up in numbers, of course. Just my luck.
Your channel's getting up in numbers. Oh, congratulations.
It's like it's still only like 224 at the moment, but still it's
224,000.
No, just 224. That's it.
Oh, 224. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so...
No. I was passing a joke on how you only had 200 and something subscribers. It was a joke. It was not meant negatively.
I probably would be better if I uploaded more frequently, rather than like once a month.
It would be nice if I did something more than just stream once a bloody week, like I did this week. Moon Crystal. Okay, sure. Let's go.
I would upload more, but I'm quite busy at the moment, so...
That's when the dead walk the woods.
Probably would upload more as well, but... Like, the latest thing I put up, my friends are like begging me to make like an EP, so... I've been working on that.
I see your uploads show up in my sub box, and then I'm like, oh god, that looks cringe, and I don't click it.
Kind of.
Haven't you made, like, a music video for, like, one of your songs? I'm dreading clicking it.
It's really weird, like, yeah. It can only be described if you kind of watch it, to be honest. It's it's quite cringy. But the whole thing was meant to be a joke. Kind of like a piss take on no pump and stuff. If that makes sense. Hi, Jonah.
I'm sure it makes sense to somebody. Hello, who have we got?
Hey, what up, guys?
Yo, it's
Hello.
Jonah. Voice lobby's open, Jonah. But you knew that because you're in it.
I'm starting to get
It's a party in here. Welcome, Steph.
Starbucks. I didn't know Steve-O had a YouTube
This
channel.
is way too long an intro. Let's just get to some gameplay.
Yeah, when I saw the title of this,
well
I
animated.
typed in the stream tab. Is that a typo? It surely you mean SNES, right?
I don't see your comment in the stream window.
No, stream SNES. The tab Discord.
What?
In the Discord, like in the stream.
Oh, in the
channel.
Did I make a typo, or were you saying that the voice lobby being open was a typo? Because I can kick you out.
No, I said the NES part of the title was a typo, and I said you surely you mean SNES, right?
No, I mean NES.
Okay then.
Because NES is better than SNES.
Because the SNES hack is a bit more complicated, so I haven't done it yet.
But the true reason is NES is better than SNES, isn't it, ERB?
NES is certainly good. I must admit, I'd probably find it easier to play an SNES game for a long time than an NES game. It would depend really on the game. But generally speaking,
I haven't really played a game.
I find old games like this too archaic to play for a long time. I used to be able to. Alas, I've gotten shit with old games in my old age.
In my opinion, NES is fine. It just doesn't have any groundbreaking, amazing games of all time that aren't Zelda 1 or Dr. Mario or Wario's Woods or anything like that.
I haven't played
Oh my
any
god.
of those games.
What a fucking Philistine. Hold on. Where is it? Might be under M. Sorry, Jonah, you're completely wrong. The NES does have more games than just those that are good.
I respect your opinion, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
No, you see, it's an opinion. I like the NES. I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm sure it has great, amazing games on it I'm missing out on. Sure, the Famicom has games that I don't know about. I just don't see it as the best system ever made. But the games, I'm sure, are great on it. I just haven't broadened my horizon as to what it has, really.
I don't think anybody was saying it was the best. Oh, well, actually, no, we were. That was the joke.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that the best 8-bit system by far was the Master System and not the NES, because the Master System is superior to the NES. Fight me on that.
I don't entirely disagree. I can't find gimmicks.
It's
pissing me off.
I mean, it has Phantasy 1.
Damn it, Phoenix, you add all these games and you don't add Mr. Gimmick. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No! We need Mr. Gimmick.
Why is there no Mr. Gimmick? What a joke.
I mean, Master System has
like
Phantasy 1,
5,000
and that's
fucking
good enough for
Metroid
me.
hacks. Doesn't add Mr. Gimmick. Ugh. Fine.
Master System having Phantasy Star 1 is good enough for me. The same with Dynamite Ducks, which, yes, I think that's a fine game.
Dynamite Ducks is pretty decent. Not the PC compatible version.
So as in my opinion, Psychic Wars, that's really good. Wonder Boy 3 the Dragon's Trap, though the Game Gear version is actually a good version as well. Obviously, well, actually all the Wonder Boy games are on the...
I'm feeling much better, thank you, Steph. Hey, Ann, how's it going? Are you up for Gears 5 tomorrow night?
Oh, I forgot that game came out.
Also, hey Steph, do you recognize me? It's me. Does Steph not know it's me?
Steph's gonna be like, I don't know anybody called me. The effects are cool, but I don't feel up to playing a card game right now. It's pretty neat though. I beat Frieza! Maybe I'll do this for a Sunday Z day at some point.
So, who wants to talk about Tokyo Game Show? I mean, that's what I want to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about Tokyo Game Show. Go on then. You take the lead.
Me?
Yeah. You want to talk about it? You take the lead.
Well, Yakuza 7 looks good. I mean, it doesn't look turn-based. What Yoshinori, what was it? His name? Yeah, I forgot his name already. It has a T. I believe.
Nagoshi?
Oh, yeah, Toshiro Nagoshi.
Yeah.
He said it's meant to be more active, turn-based, kind of like Final Fantasy 12, but there's actually, like, beating up in it. It's not turn-based like Final Fantasy, but it looks pretty good. I like how it looks to be like an actual RPG in it with mechanics and more mini-games to it. It looks pretty good.
It looks really good. The job system appeals to me. The whole Yakuza Kart minigame looks like a hell of a load of fun.
Yeah.
I just love that they're going full stupid with it this time. Like, there's no false pretense that it's a crime drama, you know. This time, they're just going, yeah, no, stupid. We're just going full stupid. And I love that about it.
That's right, the game was originally meant for April Fools, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Was that the Yakuza that was, like, meant to be April Fool's joke? And then...
Yeah, and then it turned out to be the actual combat system. I had a feeling it would be. That it wasn't an April Fool's.
Wasn't the footage shown for April Fool's turn-based like it was a Final Fantasy Dragon Quest game, but the gameplay shown for the full game was active turn-based, like you don't press anything and watch them fight like it's...
yeah, but the combat system itself is still very similar to what was shown in April Fool's. I think it was just an evolution of the development process. So they showed turn-based then because that's what they had, and then they moved to this real-time system at some point afterwards.
How you can tell that it is now going full on RPG is how there's actual now damage counters on top of the enemies. Like you can tell Nagoshi wants it to be a full on RPG now.
I appreciate that they're going full on JRPG with it, because the Yakuza series really did need something. We've had so many Yakuza games that are essentially the same game, and Sega is aware that, you know, they're milking the Yakuza series. There needs to be something new to refresh it, and Yakuza 7 looks like it's going to be that. Brand new combat system, completely new city, new protagonist. Like, they're just going full on with it. They're just going nuts. And I like that.
Also, I was actually on that live stream both part of the day 1 and day 2 one. I think day 2 was when they showed Yakuza 7. On day 2, they showed Shenmue 3, and day 1 they showed 13 Sentinels. And
Shenmue 3 can go to hell. I'm not excited for it.
What was shown, and by the way, what was his face? The actual creator of Shenmue and Virtua Fighter, he was there as if Sega actually welcomed him back or something. I don't know why he was there, but I think he was just trying to introduce it, since I think Sega's just publishing the game.
Sega might be publishing it in Japan, but it's Deep Silver publishing it outside of Japan, and that's the problem. Is that Deep Silver's like, oh yeah, let's release it on PC, Epic Game Store. No. Not after you've promised that it's coming to Steam.
Well, I get the feeling Deep Silver are only giving us more problems, like they're the reason why my number 9 tanked everywhere, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think we have like Fortnite to blame for having all the games not go into Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When all this fails, just blame Fortnite.
Well, to be fair, they play the game, so it's what they enjoy. That's what they enjoy.
Fair enough.
Me, I think the game's rubbish, but that's just my opinion, and if they like it, they like it.
Which game's that? Shenmue?
No.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Alright.
Oh, hey,
because I mean, I wouldn't disagree in either case. There's a controversial opinion.
Hey, Sushi's here.
Oh, Sushi Sunshine is here. Sushi Funshine here in the sunshine.
Sushi-san, Sushi-san.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la. That's probably on this laptop. I just don't have it set up to be a stream thing because I've lost so many stream setups over the years. But it should be on this laptop. I can probably play it.
That's kind of why I want to rent one of those computers that's in like one of those giant data centers with like the RTX 2070s.
Sushi sunshine, sushi sun, sushi sun. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. Where the fuck is it? Ah! SushiSunshine.mpeg. That'll be it.
Yay!
Right, okay. Don't remember scene location. When finished, hide. Play once. Play on source show. So now, when I tap off and tap on, it auto plays. Yes, okay, so it's set back up. Okay, there we go. That's all set up now.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Did you see that in promotion? I think I linked the English translated special presentations for Bandai Namco showing up for mostly Kakarot and Tales of Arise.
I'd probably want to see both of those.
And yeah, there's some English translated ones for the Tokyo Game Show Live, and some of them were decent, and the ones that were translated were the ones for Bandai Namco and the ones from PlayStation, but that was about it.
I'm really disappointed that nothing has happened based on my predictions. That we haven't had confirmation of Maiden of Blackwater, that we haven't had... I knew we wouldn't, but that we haven't had confirmation on Mithra and Pyra yet. That we haven't heard anything about Twin Snakes HD. I'm gutted.
I just want to say...
It means I have to bring my source into disrepute. Carry on.
I want her in Smash as wallpaper, so that's something we both want.
It just has to happen.
Are you saying Aruru in Smash Brothers?
Yes, please.
I think the likelihood is fairly high. Who was it who posted? There was somebody who posted a tweet on Twitter explaining that Puyo Puyo's reach in Japan is massive. That, like, it would be the equivalent of Nintendo putting a Disney character in Smash Brothers if they put Ale in there. I think the likelihood is fairly high.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you say Disney, that would have been something Square Enix would allow, such as Sora.
I would love Sora. The issue is that Sora is a Disney character, and they would have to go through... God, what's his face? Tetsuya Nomura for approval. So it's a Disney character that they go through Tetsuya Nomura for approval to use. So it would...
Square Enix and Tetsuya Nomura, since it's a collaboration project, since they both have to confirm and allow it.
It's Disney that owns the character, but they go through Nomura for approval.
Yeah.
I just realized something that would be cool. The Elric brothers in Smash.
Yeah, but they're an anime character. It would be lovely to... I seriously think an anime Smash Brothers would be fantastic. If Sakurai was like, okay, yeah, instead of pissing about with you can't have anime characters in Smash, why not just make an anime character Smash? I mean, we basically had it in the past with the Jump Superstars games. We know that the format is good and it works. Let's have a full-on modern-style Smash Brothers.
Or a anime fighter or an anime-style Smash Bros. Game that can work with an all-star cast of anime characters in it that can work kind of like BlazBlue or Smash Bros. In a way. I mean, even Galleon has its own
I don't want it to be
Bros.
like a traditional button fighter like BlazBlue. Nuh-uh. What I've got in my mind as the vision is Smash Brothers, like a brawler, like Battle Stadium DON, like Dream Mix TV fighters.
Yeah. Oh, and if you mind if I interject and actually mention something that's factual?
Go
if you don't
ahead.
mind? If many people don't remember this or know this, but Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku, voices Lucario in the Smash Bros. Series, and Lucario does the whole aura thing. So there you go, Goku's in the game already.
With the max aura.
And of course, we've got the Dragon Quest hero now, who is essentially, depending on the hero, Gohan. So I mean,
yeah,
we've got our Dragon Ball representative in the form of the hero. Yeah, well, you mentioned Jump Force in a Yu-Gi Hakusho, but I don't think that game ever released. Not in a finished state, anyway.
I think maybe in America, but I don't know about the UK, about Jump Force.
Jump Force released all over the world, and it released in the UK, pretty much.
I don't know.
It was just a bad game.
So.
It was a bad game. It's really bad. What was bad about it wasn't the way how it played or what it introduced, but it was because of the roster, the way the mechanics were, and the fact that people complained how the whole that one life bar consists of your whole entire team. So if one person dies, it's your whole team that loses.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
That sucks. Just the character choice sucks. The visuals of Jump Force suck. The cutscenes are unfinished.
Oh, the visuals.
Just I wanted to like the game, but during development, I was keeping a close eye on Jump Force. I'm like, if they confirm Gintoki for Jump Force, I will buy Jump Force. But they didn't confirm Gintoki for it, and I have a reason for why they didn't confirm Gintoki. Gintoki is a media-aware character. He knows he's in a video game. Gintoki would not set foot in a game as terrible as Jump Force. He would personally choose not to be in Jump Force. That's why Gintoki's not in Jump Force. Changed my mind.
Fair enough.
Jump Force is a game that's meant to be massively appealing to or marketing to outside Japan, yet that makes no sense since Gintama has a massive audience and fan base outside Japan as much as it does in Japan, so I don't know why he's not even in the game either.
Who has jumped in?
Hi, Sushi.
Is it Sushi?
Sushi,
Yes,
yep.
he has his microphone muted.
Cha-la-la-la-la-la.
Hey boy, can you hear me now?
Yay! I can hear you!
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Sushi.
Can everyone else hear you?
Can you hear today?
I can hear him, yes.
I can vaguely hear you!
You can vaguely hear me.
Yeah!
Okay.
Speak clearer!
I guess you'll have to make do with vaguely hearing me then.
You're a lot clearer now.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm back from work, knackered.
Very nice.
Yay! Yay indeed. Because it's always yay when you're back from work and you're feeling knackered.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I'm not knackered. I'm not too knackered. Knackered, but not desperately knackered. Like I'm not like knackered as if I've been beaten up by Mike Tyson or anything silly like that.
Mike, Tyson's Punch Out. Mike, Tyson's Punch Out. Da 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 da.
Oh, there's another thing. There's been DLC coming out for Jump Force. There was two My Hero Academia characters, All Might and Bakugo.
It was Biscuit or whatever her name is. Seto Kaiba.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh characters.
Who's the echo of Yugi.
Yugi. Yes, Seto Kaiba is DLC, and Yugi is just a default game character in the game. Kaiba is just, I don't know, kind of the same as Yugi, except that Seto Kaiba has Blaze White Dragon as his ultimate, I think.
Nice, nice.
It's still Yugi, but he's got a new hat! That's what, like, Seto Kaiba with, like, a slightly different finisher is. It's still Malibu Stacy, but she's got a new hat!
She has a new hat.
I just hear the dog of the day.
No, not yet. I certainly didn't hear the dog of the day.
Could have been a dog outside.
Something that
my
sounded
house.
like a dog. Oh, maybe it's on Matsu's side.
Yeah, there's always a dog outside my house that likes to bark every now and again.
Here's a dog of the day.
It is a dog,
I don't
and
know.
today is a day ending in the letter Y. Yes.
Today's stream was brought to you by the letter Y.
Because I gotta.
Stick to the end of the
Dog
video to find
stud-
out more.
What dog begins with the letter Y?
Day. Day that begins with the letter Y.
And day begins with the letter D.
Ends with the letter...
It ends with the letter Y.
Day.
Yep. As
Sushi.
the title says, ERB voice lobby on NES online mods and stupidity. Well, here's your stupidity.
Sushi loving
just like a
to,
normal episode of Sesame Street.
Sushi loving to stretch, really, like, stretch.
Speaking of stupidity, I was recently re-watching that old clip of you playing that Dora the Explorer game and deliberately
Try again!
missed. Yeah, you were deliberately getting the numbers wrong.
Yes.
I'm gonna do an animated cartoon based on that clip.
That's a
Be
good
an
clip to
absolute
do.
effect. Yep. Also, I liked the way you edited Dora's voice to make her sound like she was
Try
saying,
again!
Try again, dumbass.
Are you saying who is that talking right now? That is Sushi Sunshine. Sushi Sunshine, Sushi Sun, la 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 la
Yes,
la.
Steph, that is me, Sushi Sunshine,
Nani,
2000.
I wonder what
Yes,
Steph has
I
to
do
say.
have a weird voice. Everybody's been stated that. Yes, I have a weird voice. Everybody's been telling me this all the time, and there's nothing I can do about
It's the
it.
first time she
Apart
heard
from
your
maybe
voice.
blow up a what's it called? A balloon.
An orphanage.
A sort of balloon that-
I'm so sorry! That just came
Yeah.
out!
what's it called?
What? What'd you say, Eric? I didn't hear you.
God.
What?
Dark
What did you
humor, I
say?
do apologize.
What did you
Shit.
say? I didn't hear him.
He said blow up
Yeah,
and...
so what's going on?
Woo!
I meant blow up a balloon.
Your mum,
You know,
welcome.
it's a balloon that you blow up and then you swallow and it makes your voice high pitched.
That's
Oh, yeah,
helium.
helium balloon.
That's helium.
Helium. That's the word I was looking for.
Helium.
Hey, Steph. Steph, would you like to join the voice lobby? Maybe.
Do it.
Well, you can't because there's 5 of us in.
Oh,
I think one of
Oops.
us is going to have
I
to go
could
to let
adjust the
Steph in.
voice lobby limit to 6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be the
Ooh.
first time I'll have ever have done it.
It's like one of those like special things that happens on a live TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when on Big Brother they all of a sudden decide to evict 2 housemates. It's like that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's like one of those like
crap.
ITV.
Welcome, Acid.
It's like one of those ITV
Yo!
daytime shows. It's like today we're giving away £250,000, and then the crowd goes, ooh.
Thanks, Steph. That was
It's
very
like,
kind.
sound more excited, you assholes!
Toybomb says I sound like an old man.
That. No, that's pretty fun.
I think Sushi is the perfect voice actor for when I do the UK dub of Soul Brain and the other one, Win Spectre. I'm gonna get you to voice the police chief.
You were going to do that.
I'm gonna get you to voice the police chief.
And
The cool guy with the burns on his face.
Nah,
Can't remember
I'm
his
not a very
name.
good voice actor.
Oh, I think you'd be perfect, because he always looks drunk. And you always sound drunk?
Oh, so you're telling me that I sound drunk?
Yes.
Well, here's the funny
Maybe.
thing. I'm not drunk. I'm not even remotely drunk.
And you're not drunk on
Thank
power.
you very much, Draven.
Ugh.
So-
You know, maybe it's just bollocks. Never mind. Continue talking, Jonah.
So, Atlas and Sega's Tokyo Game Show presentation did show off the new Hatsune Miku game. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, the Hatsune Miku game! I need to take a look at that. I'm so
Yeah.
hyped.
Pretty sure.
What?
A new
A new
Hatsune
Hatsune-
Miku game.
Said there's a new Hatsune Miku.
New Hatsune Miku
A
game.
new
pretty much.
Project Diva.
Oh,
Is it another one of those rhythm
Yes.
thingamajig games?
Yes,
Yes,
it
the
is.
rhythm games.
It's
Dude,
another
you
game
see
in
their
that
age, we
series.
call it thingamajigs.
Remember the time I streamed that Hatsune Miku game after playing Sonic the Fighters? It's another one of
yeah.
those.
Yes, I do.
That's specifically for
remember that.
Sushi, because Sushi will remember that.
Yeah, I voted for virtual on, but everybody else voted for Hatsune Miku. Not that I had a problem with it.
And who wouldn't? Because she's the perfect, and this is going to annoy Sushi, waifu.
Of course.
Yes, that stupid word. And, yes, Steph, Soy and me are the same age, and, my accent is thick. Well, I guess I now know what a thick accent is. But be careful, because, to say, in British slang, to say that somebody is thick means that somebody is really, really stupid.
That's because they're extra thick.
Extra thick.
Extra thick. Paper says extra thick because he's Scottish.
Extra thick means something else for us Americans, you know, Sushi, but for you guys it's different.
It's a sexual thing, is it?
For Americans, kind of. Not sexual, but close.
so it's like,
And it's
oh,
also
damn.
It means you got a nice big booty.
And a K.
Or big, thick thighs.
Big
Yeah,
booty bitches, big
yeah,
booty
be said.
bitches.
Big booty bitch! Yeah! Oh god! You reminded me that exists. So good. You've just
Oh, is
taken
that
me
a
back
Nicki
10
Minaj
years.
song?
No, it was an old video on YouTube. that I
Big
saw that
booty
was hilarious.
bitches, big
I
big
think
booty
I very
bitches.
vaguely remember watching that video. It was so many years ago, and I think it might have been a parody of one of Nicki Minaj's songs. Steph says then that I and her are the same age as well. Oh, that's okay then.
You sound 12. Does that mean you say like after every other word in every other like sentence? Because that's how I
Like this.
imagine like 12-year-olds like sound like.
I like that thing, the
I'm gonna
best.
end up getting into that habit again. Please stop.
But then you need to put "oh my god" when you say it. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god," like.
Like, oh my god,
Don't
like
16-year-olds
my
say that.
god.
Yes, they do, and it's bloody annoying when I hear them do it.
Hey, it's
Oh my god, like, we
robotic
had to sing my
operating
yesterday,
buddy.
lad.
Welcome on board. I am the navigational computer of Subsea. This game's cool. Now I can see why Soybomb likes this one.
So I'm on stream this one.
I think Soybomb has streamed Star Tropics, yeah.
He loves Star Tropics a lot, and I'm probably gonna maybe play it just to see
looks
if
a bit like that
he likes it.
gyromite thing. Do you remember?
Oh,
Yes,
Rob.
robotic operating
Rob.
buddy. Rob.
Rob,
Oh,
of course.
Yeah.
a robot in Japan.
I forgot to check and see how, what's it called? What's the big
Steph, are you
scam
not
called again?
familiar with
Ant Street. Is that it?
ROB?
It's a dolphin.
The
Such
Oh.
a cute dolphin.
sorry, never mind, Steph. Yeah, Steph, are you familiar with Rob, the robot for the NES?
But I don't like to say like unless you're like into that. I'm like into that.
He's a dolphin.
He's a dolphin. He's so cute.
Aww.
Navcom here, Captain. She is a female
You're very
dolphin.
blurry,
Will begin
dolphin.
translation. Please find my
Very
son.
blurry,
He has
dolphin.
disappeared. Find her
It would
son.
appear that
Okay.
OnStream is still in existence and wasn't just available for like a month.
It's amazing. Isn't Antstream a failure already?
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe the person is so passionate about it, he's not being sensible about it, and
He's
will not
pumping all of
accept
his
this,
he's pumping all of his profit from Traveler's Tales into whatever the studio.
He's probably flushing all of his money down the toilet.
Essentially.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because that's what you end up doing when you act so babyish about.
Oh, it's the moral grandstanding that gets me.
It's the Netflix for games.
Oh, yeah.
Steph says she is not familiar with the Rob robot for the NES. Don't worry about it, Steph. It's very trivial. It's well.
It was only
If you're
really,
interested, the Angry Video Game did a video about it.
if I remember correctly, Rob was only really created to show toy shops in America that the NES is not like this, like the Atari video game systems, because like, they obviously didn't like the whole crash and that. So to get into the shops, they just said, "Oh yeah, no, it's also a toy as well. Look at this robot that we can use that helps the children play the game with it. So it's like a toy."
Yeah.
Only two
Yeah,
games
that's
worked
right.
with it. Only
It's a
two games
cool
worked.
idea, but it never really took off. And here's another bit of trivia. Some copies of Gyromite have a built-in Famicom converter, which you could use to play Famicom games
Yes.
on your NES.
I already
Yes,
know
that
about
is true.
That, thanks.
Yeah,
I knew about that actually.
it's cool.
I think that was because they didn't have enough carts ready. I think was the reason.
That
Maybe they were.
So they're like,
doing
oh, we'll
this
just
thing in
reuse
a
these
hurry,
Japanese
so-
carts.
So, oh yeah, so they had like converters or something?
Yeah, that convert the Famicom cartridge format into NES cartridge format. So you could just take apart an older Gyromite cartridge and just use it to run any Famicom game on an
Oh.
NES.
yeah.
It's thanks to Jew Warrior that I know about that stuff actually.
Well, I know about it from, I think it must have been, Angry Video Game Nerd must have mentioned it, or perhaps someone on Twitter. It also sounds like a sort of Nick Robinson thing to come across. Like, it sounds like the kind of thing that he would have mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Nick Robinson, do you watch Terrace House?
No, I don't. I've watched his video on it, and I thought about watching Terrace House, but I've got like 5,000 things to watch, and I'm like, do I really want to sit down
Right.
to watch something that's completely subtitled? Stuff that has
Right.
dubs at the moment gets my attention because it's easy to watch a dub.
There were only 2 NES games that were released for use for the Rob robots.
That's what I just said, Sushi.
Were they only ever meant to be 2 games, or was there more games planned?
Just
There was
two,
only
I
ever
think.
2 games made for the Rob Robot. Whether or not they were planning to release more, I don't know.
Because they could have, obviously, like as I mentioned about the history of Rob, maybe they wanted to make more so that it made more appealing, but then obviously word of mouth got around about the NES and how well it did in America specifically, because it's always them we hear about. No bias at all.
Yeah, the Rob robot. Nintendo thought it would be the Rob robot that would help sales of the NES in the US,
Yeah.
but apparently they didn't really need it.
No.
The games were so
It
good
was,
that they
Mario
didn't need the
that
robot.
yes.
The robot in the end just served one purpose, and that was to get NES consoles in houses and in stores. Once Rob had done that, you know, they could discard Rob.
So,
Rob would later appear in a in F-Zero X, I think it was.
On Smash Brothers.
yeah, Smash Brothers.
Brothers. And Mario Kart DS.
It's besides obviously because I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd, I found out about it from him, but at the same time I also found out about Rob from Smash Bros. Playing Brawl with a friend like years ago before I properly got into Smash.
The earliest time I learned of Rob was from an issue of what was called at the time N64 magazine.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I've got one of their strategy guide for Donkey Kong 64 in my room, along with the video box they gave out to put your Donkey Kong 64 cart in, and the expand.
Yeah, I've had that box, but funnily enough, I never got the game. But also, the issue I had with the box is it didn't really look like the original cardboard box that it would come in, and what I wanted was a box that I could not only put an N64 game, but sort of cut the cardboard out and slide the cardboard into the box so it still looks like the original game.
Yep.
And also it would be a bit pointless having that box when they don't make boxes for the other games.
Yeah. And then there's Lilac Wars on the N64 with the combo pack, and it's bloody huge because I just got a copy today.
Yeah, you posted it on the Swag Brag
Yes.
channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised how huge it was.
Yep.
Wait,
Big
Lilac.
box.
Wait, Paper, Lilac Wars. Does that mean you live in Australia or Scotland?
No,
I'm in-
in
in the
Lilac
UK,
Wars is what it's called in Europe.
Yeah.
In Europe?
You
Well,
know it in Lilac Wars, you know it as Star Fox.
obviously it's
Which is,
Star Fox. I just don't know why they changed it to Lilac Wars in Europe.
Because
since
Star
it's-
Fox was the name of a Commodore 64 game.
Copyright.
Yeah, Nintendo couldn't be able to secure the copyrights for Star Fox for the same reason why Sega couldn't secure the copyrights for the name Mega Drive in the US, so I had to change it to Genesis.
Right.
Genesis
it's
does!
also- And it's because of that copyright issue is why the original Star Fox is called Starwing in the UK.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. Which makes me curious as to, not that I care too much about it, but why can they call it Starwing 2?
True. But I suppose maybe they thought that Star Fox 2 would have came out and they would have called it Star Wing 2 there. Maybe it was just so it wasn't confusing, or to kind of bank on like the whole Star Wars kind of fans coming back again.
I think it was because, like, the new Star Wars movie was being filmed at the time, and, like, they just wanted to get that sort of Star Wars vibe in.
Interesting.
But when did any of the Star Fox games start to become calling of Star Fox? Like, was it till the DS one or something?
GameCube. Star Fox Adventures was
GameCube.
called,
Yeah, Star
was
Fox
called Star
Adventures.
Fox Adventures. It's the same with Star Fox Assault was just called Star Fox Assault. Command was Star Fox Command. There was no change at
Right.
all.
Right. Star Fox Assault, in my opinion, is the most underrated one. I don't get why many people thought it was not that good, but I actually loved it. When I grew up renting it from Blockbuster, I thought it was pretty good.
I will admit I really like 64, but Lilac Wars. But for me, I think Star Fox / Star Wing on the SNES is better. But that's just because I've played that more than Lilac Wars.
I loved Assault for its ground missions, which, yes, and the guy actually liked those. Many people disliked the ground missions in Assault, where it just felt jarring to just go from in air to just on the ground in that game. But then the music, which is also cool, but then there's the story, which has actual new enemies in Assault. But the SNES one, Star Fox, like the first one, I agree is really good, since it's the first of its time to have a 3D game on a system like the SNES, thanks to the FX chip, which is innovative at the time.
Which is made by Argonaut Software, which is also, fun enough, a UK company.
Yes, pretty much.
Nintendo stole so much code from Argonaut's.
Yeah.
I just got an ad on YouTube for tortoise
code.
eating kiwi.
What? Tortoise eating kiwi?
Yeah, tortoise eating kiwi ASMR.
There is a video of a raccoon eating grapes. ASMR.
That's an ad or a video?
It's a video.
An ad. I seen
There's a lot of weird shits in YouTube, I guess.
I'll post it on promotion.
Luna has muted himself.
I did that because my laptop.
Is there?
Okay.
Or what again, sorry?
I did that because my laptop messed up, because the battery was kind of alerting me, and my son was giving me something that made me think I should just leave and come back in, which I did, and it got fixed that way. My laptop is
Technology's not brilliant, I guess.
Darn it! There's no channel for turtles or anything.
Oh.
Darn it!
Oh, there's just that one kid, if anybody remembers that video of the kid going, "I like turtles."
Oh yeah.
That's a
I
classic.
remember it, but I never really found it funny. I didn't understand why it was.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I
it was. Actually, no, I
like
think I know why people found it funny. It was because this kid was on TV and he didn't know what the hell to say.
It was just, he was
it's just the way
in, like a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the way he said it as well, and it was at the time when that was even aired, like, I think it was like 2005 or something, like ages ago.
Long time ago.
I remember seeing it on, if anybody remembers this, because I know this is like going way back into YouTube, but Ray William Johnson with the three
Know
videos.
of him.
Yeah.
ELB is entering his name in as dumbass.
Oh god, this is even worse than I was expecting. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is borderline unplayable with an NES controller.
What game? Like, I'm not looking at the stream right now.
This is a game called Night Lord. Oh my god, no, I'm aware of this. This was originally a Rareware game, wasn't it?
Oh yes.
Completely
Yes.
unfamiliar with this game.
Oh yeah, it was for was it the Commodore or the Spectrum? They made it for.
Yeah, it
back
would have
in
been
the
Specky.
80s. Which came from Dundee. If anybody wants to know that fun fact.
Ooh.
I turn into a werewolf at night. There's a day-night
Yes.
cycle. This is
Yeah,
so weird.
Saberwolf.
Yeah.
That, sorry. Pardon me?
Bless you, Sushi.
That, yeah, sorry you had to hear that. Is that Saberwolf from Killer Instinct?
No.
Yeah,
No,
same
it's clear-
Saberwolf.
No, it's clearly Saberwolf from Banjo-Tooie.
Same Saberwolf.
Do you think since
Yes, exactly.
both this game and Killer Instinct were both made by Rare, do you think they could have named Saberwolf after Saberwolf?
It's a possibility.
It's the
but I
same
wouldn't put it past them.
Saberwolf. Oh, my head
anyways.
hurts.
Anyways, Konami had only 2 things to show at Tokyo Game Show. Do you want to know what they are?
Pinball games? I mean, pachinko games?
Not
No,
Goemon and not Twin Snakes HD.
Aw.
No, but... Well, actually, you said not, but you are correct. But what they showed was Contra Hard Road Core. I mean, Road Core,
Alright, yeah.
of course. But also... And this is a big one that might disappoint you all, and I'm gonna say with this, a Castlevania mobile game.
Fuck off.
Well, I guess I won't be playing that.
Castlevania what?
Mobile game.
Mobile games.
First I hear that Choo Choo Rocket's getting a mobile game, which, fair enough, it's Choo Choo Rocket, maybe it would work on a mobile game, but
Yeah,
at the same
Choo Choo
time,
Rocket
kinda
would
like
work as a mobile game.
They're making a Frogger one as well, I think.
I would just want to play it. Just want to play
a
it.
parody of Uchu Keiji Gaban.
I think it was.
Is that a Tokusatsu game?
Yeah.
It is.
I think it was Konami showed a
It's very
Frogger mobile
interesting.
game at the Apple conference on Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. The own Frogger as well.
Thing is, Frogger had a mobile game, but it was a port of the original one. But this new one you're saying, I don't know where it is.
It's just something to promote Apple Arcade. Yeah, Apple
So
Arcade.
when do you transform into Galvan, Yabi? When or how do you transform into Galvan?
I think you have to collect power symbols dropped by
Repeat
enemies. You collect power symbols dropped by the enemies, and then when you get enough, you become Galvan. I think. I'm basing that on having collect one battery already. I wasn't expecting this to be Metroid. That's interesting.
It looks more like a Battletoads to me. With that kind of idea.
Maybe visually, but
Yeah.
to my mind.
it's a sort of like an open worldy thing.
Speaking of Battletoads, when's the remake coming out?
It was supposed to be this year. I don't know if it's out yet.
No, it's gonna come out to like, I think November or December.
I'm not excited for it. I don't like the visual
the art
style.
I like the idea of the art style. It works with how like the sprites originally looked in the NES game, but at the same time, I think
They've made the Dark Queen not sexy anymore. The whole point
Exactly.
is she's meant to be
Yeah.
sexy.
It isn't Rare. I don't think Rare made it either.
It's a woke thing again.
I think it is, because if you look at her uniform, it's very very restricted in the remake.
Oh dear. Doesn't sound very nice. Well, look, it's Jetman.
She's meant to be sexy.
So-
That's the whole point.
By the way, is this how do I ask the question? Is this a official Nintendo release?
No.
What is?
What I'm playing right now is an official Nintendo release that has been patched to have loads of games that it doesn't normally have in it.
It's a mod. It's a mod, Sushi. You don't know what a mod is, do you?
Oh, come
Yeah, I
on, don't
do,
be a
but,
dick.
Okay, sorry, ERB.
It looks like ERB is accessing it from the official Nintendo website, or however
I'm
it
accessing
works.
it from an
And,
official Nintendo piece of software, but the games are actually stored on an SD card. The Switch firmware loads the games up in the place of the official ones,
Oh, okay.
using magic.
I forgot to charge up my Switch. I was meant to
Yeah, it's
mod
very
it.
confusing. I know what a mod is. I just don't know how ERB is accessing the games on this Switch.
I don't really understand it myself. My guy who knows a guy set it up.
who knows
for
a
me.
guy?
You know,
I'm sure
I don't
Matzo
even
knows that guy.
understand Nintendo.
It's a guy Matzo knows very well.
Oh, yeah.
So who heard about Ash Ketchum and the Pokemon League?
Wait, Ash Ketchum, what?
See the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime.
Yeah.
Ash has finally won a Pokemon League.
Oh my god, really?
It's taken him 22 years, but he's won the Alolan Pokemon League.
It's only a lake, though.
Well, still, it's happened, and it's taken them 22 years.
Very interesting.
Oh, I remember AVGN talking about this bullshit.
Oh, is this the...
He's like, you can't punch the ass!
Yes.
Can't punch the ass.
Then how do
I don't think you're meant to punch his ass, you're supposed to punch his chest. Which probably sounds wrong.
I'm playing with a pair of scissors in case you can hear it.
Why are you playing with a pair of scissors?
Yes,
don't-
I'm not touching the
Why,
blade.
why do
I'm
flash
touching the
effects
turbine.
not work in this emulator? Why do they look weird?
Probably because the NES emulator on the Switch is naff.
That could be it.
I mean, did you see what they've done to the first boss of Probotector on the Mega Drive for the Mega Drive Mini? They've toned down the almost seizure-inducing colours that it would give off.
Oh, come on,
Well,
that's part of the game's charm.
Or wasn't
I'm
there
gonna
an
stay away
episode of
from-
Pokemon that
I'm
said
gonna stay away
give
from that,
people with
man.
epilepsy or something?
Yeah, Electric Soldier Porygon. I have watched
Yeah.
that episode. My eyes were not the same after I watched that episode.
Yeah, my eyes
just-
legitimately hurt after that.
You know,
Yeah.
I actually watched that episode and it did not affect me at all, but even so, I must admit the effects were pretty strong, and
Yes,
I guess I can
excessive.
understand why people got seizures.
I watched that episode after like 30 seconds, and I wanted to close the internet browser immediately since I have epilepsy, and I just couldn't take anything.
Yeah, you
that was
shouldn't
in
have
it.
been watching it.
Yeah, at all. Don't
Well
I'm
done,
gonna
genius.
watch it just to see how bad it is.
I don't have it. Like I don't usually my eyes don't usually hurt after seeing a flash.
All right, take care, Steph.
But after that episode, my eyes, like if there's
Steph,
flashing lights.
take care. See you on Soy sometime. Take care.
Sorry. It just sometimes like after seeing the kind of flashing lights like that, my eyes do hurt a little bit after the Electric Soldier Porygon.
Uh-oh, I'm on 8%. I might need to plug out my headphones.
Yeah, you better charge that Switch.
Yes.
Oh no, it's my phone.
It's your
Yeah,
phone.
yes.
You better
Oh,
charge
phones
that
don't matter.
phone.
Yes, and because it's jailbroken, I don't want to have to...
Oh, to
close
tether it
or
again.
Have to, yeah.
Yeah, oh, that was the worst thing when I had a hacked iPhone way back when, was having to tether it every single time.
Well, see, now it's semi-untethered, so,
My
you just
Switch is
basically
tethered.
open an app and hit a button. All you have to do is open the app, hit a button, and you're set.
That's incredibly easy.
And about Project Resistance, did you? Was it you that mentioned about what it was like? Because I forget who it was that mentioned about Project Resistance and what it was confirmed to be.
What is Project Resistance? Well, I
Oh,
don't
a new
even
Resident
remember
Evil
the name.
project Capcom is working on. It was shown at Tokyo Game Show.
Oh, right, okay. I have no idea what that is.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, we can.
Is
Okay.
it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
What's going on?
Watching the animated GIF of possums climbing on the cat's climbing frame. It's very cute.
That's because possums are cute.
Yeah.
Possums are very cute, and
I
they're
like
awesome. And they also kick
Oh,
mad
here he goes. He's
scientists.
mentioning Awesome Possum. I wondered how long it would be. Oh, congratulations, Sushi.
Yep.
Wait, what do you call
The best video game
little tiny
ever.
pink fish-like animals with like the black beady eyes and like the tiny hands? Or the tiny...
Well, Sushi, I wouldn't call Awesome Possum the best video game ever, since not many people even know about it. But I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I just don't know what Awesome
You
Possum
don't know what Awesome Possum is? Sorry, just
I know.
pulling a
what
card out of
Awesome
your
is.
book, Jonah. You don't know what it is? Philistine! Ignorant!
The
There we
one
go. It's out of
video
my system
game
now.
that the Nintendo Switch is missing.
What, Awesome Possum?
Yep.
Fuck off.
Kicks Dr. Machino's butt.
Yep, in full. You know what? I think they need to make a sequel called Awesome Possum Kicks Super Mario's butt because
I don't see that happening.
Mario and other characters crossovers, like Mario and the Rabbids or whatever they're called.
What we really need is a real game based on the Super Mario Brothers from the Sonic the Comic. If anybody remembers those characters.
I do not remember those characters.
Oh, read what Soy just said. Soy mentioned about what Sushi just said. Read what Soy said.
Don't get him started on Awesome Possum. Oh, Awesome Possum kicks Sushi's butt in the ass! Fuck you!
It doesn't make any sense.
It totally makes sense, because your butt...
Yeah,
Awesome Possum's gonna kick it right there in the ass.
Also, I actually love that game, Hammer and Harry. There's like a newer game to the series. One of them was Hammer and Hero, I believe.
Yeah, the PSP Hammer and Harry is particularly my favourite.
Something Larry. What was the name of that game you were previously playing?
Hammer and Harry.
Yeah.
Hammer and Harry. And this is a Jackie Chan game you're playing.
This is Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu.
So Ivan, to answer your question, yes, I can at least love a great game. In fact, I love quite a lot of them. I'll name 10. Crazy Taxi, which I haven't played for ages. Tekken, Sonic the Hedgehog.
You shouldn't have said you'd name 10, because now you're struggling.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the SNES, which I do play often as a bad habit. I've also got a Super Famicom copy of Parodius Da.
Parodius Da.
Parodius Da, right.
I do have a Japanese Mega Drive copy of Pyo Pyo.
That's a phrase to make me cry!
What can I...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man. God damn.
Sorry.
Wow.
That's a good game. What else?
Matt, so read the chat.
Yeah, that's a good game. Marvel Superheroes on the Sega Saturn. And yeah, Marvel, the general Marvel vs. Capcom games. And something funny is it this game that's funny?
No, we're reading what Soy said. What Soy said is funny, Sushi, not you.
Oh.
Karnov is missing. My God,
because,
Phoenix, you suck.
I cannot be able to take seriously anybody who cries over something as trivial and stupid as me listing 10 games.
He's joking, Sushi, and people thought I was too.
I'm just joking back.
What a jest.
It's not like The Misadventures of Karnov, or Crazy Karnov, or I Can't Get Enough of Karnov.
Well, there exists a video game called Carnage.
Carnage.
It's on the GBA. It's a Alpha Omega Sin talked about it, and it was a sort of Micro Machines rip-off, and it had a really stupid looking cover with that bloke with the green hair pulling a stupid face. I think his green hair was like photoshopped, like he didn't dye his hair green, they just photoshopped his hair green.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It was that Bad Game Covers episode of his video. It was on Game Boy Advance, I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad Game Boy Advance covers, have any of you seen the cover for Urban Yeti?
Urban Yeti.
No.
I'm familiar with the name.
On the Discord.
Just look it up, and you'll see how terrible it is.
I think you should put it in the Discord, in the what's it called? The dumpster fire, or one of these sort of channels.
Yes. I shall do that right now.
Also, it's actually confirmed. Well, I wouldn't say confirmed, but there's speculation that Tokyo March Essence FE Encore on Switch is semi-uncensored, so we won't know if it's fully uncensored or semi.
Well, we'll just have to wait for Censored Gaming to tell us whether the vaginal bones are visible or not.
Yeah, probably.
The infamous tweet from Censored Gaming about the vaginal bones have been censored. And it's like, okay.
Yes, that is Urban Yeti.
Doesn't look as cringe-worthy as Carnage, but...
No, it's not, but it's still, and it's also done by Telegames.
It's Chewbacca looking behind himself, thinking, did I just take a shit?
Nobody's censoring Urban Yeti. Not yet, sorry, not yet. Just wait until the remake that comes in 2012. Oh wait, that's the wrong...
I'm amazed that George Lucas didn't take Telegames to court over this picture, because that looks easily mistakable as Chewbacca.
I mean, so does... I mean, but then again, Telegames also the people who made Santa Claus Saves the Earth. So.
They published it. It was developed by Evil Gamus, who made... what's it called? That PS2 game that's fucking awful. Falling Stars.
So I brought that up because I thought it'd be cool to mention it. Of course, it has something to do with what they mentioned. I just thought it'd be cool to mention, so it doesn't have to connect to what they say. I just like to bring up something to at least have a topic.
Do the hashtags above your title mean anything in relation to NES games?
What does it say?
This game it says hashtag deadly prenom...
Wow, I didn't even change it for Gears, did I?
Deadly Premonition.
That's still from when I streamed Deadly Premonition.
Was it that Gears game?
No, before Gears.
Cybomb says Jonah broke the flow of the conversation.
No, I just wanted to bring out something that I thought Europe would like to hear, that's all. I guess
what was it? Because I didn't fucking hear. What was it? Because I didn't hear. Alright, doesn't matter then. Moving on. Oh.
Is ERB laughing because the chat died?
Yeah, and then the cough.
Oh, alright.
I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cough as much.
It was amazing because it was silence and then cough.
Fair enough.
I must ask, is this supposed to be a the Tasmanian Tiger game?
It's a Tiny Toons Adventures, but with Mario sprites.
So it's supposed to be Dizzy Devil, not Taz.
Yeah, and I'm actually Buster Bunny right now.
I am looking at the screenshot of the Urban Yeti game that you just posted, and
yes,
bloody hell, that looks like a creepy cross between Chewbacca and Ronald McDonald.
It does a bit, and the game gets worse when you see it in action. And I mean, I first found out about it thanks to GDQ, but that's not...
Oh, did they play it on an Awful Games block?
Yes, they did.
Oh, cool. Maybe I'll need to look that up.
But I'd rather not say much more about GDQ in case people's opinions come out, because I don't want to get involved with that, because I just watched
They're definitely better with it in recent years than they have been, in terms of the comedy, how much streamers like involve themselves in the audience.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely improved.
Obama says Urban Yeti looks like a Harry and the Hendersons game. I'm not familiar with that.
Harry and the Hendersons. God, there's a reference.
Oh, did you guys hear? I think this was already seen, at least in the Discord, and yes, I don't think Soy would like this since I'm going off topic. Oh no, it's Papel Yokai Watch being on the PS4.
What, Yokai Watch 4?
What, being on the...
Yeah, that's
Yokai
interesting.
no.
That's an
Yokai
interesting
Watch
one.
4 is coming to PS4.
Who's publishing it on the Switch?
I'm not really interested in Yokai Watch.
It's coming to both Switch and PS4, but I don't know who's publishing it unless it's level 5.
Because if it's Nintendo publishing it on Switch, that's going to be weird. Because then it'll be Sony publishing it on PS4.
I was going to say, how long did it take Yokai Watch to come out in the UK compared to America? And the fact that it was at like the same time as Yokai Watch 2 was getting released for America.
Yeah. Don't get me started on how much they fucked up Yokai Watch. Just like in handling of the TV show, in how much of it was aired over here, when the first game was released. They absolutely... it feels like they attempted to kill Yokai Watch over here.
Yeah.
I actually know a lot about that thanks to Gary not shutting up about it. No offense to Gary. I mean, he just was very upset about it since I don't blame him. He's a fan of Yokai Watch, and he was upset that the UK didn't care much about it, which, if I were him, I would be upset. But I don't know why they did it.
I mean, I watched the anime and I really liked it until they looked it back to the start after like 15 episodes, and I felt right, something's wrong here. There should be more episodes because I knew going into it beforehand that it was a long-running series like Pokemon. So I thought that was it.
Sorry. Anyway, so what exactly happened to Yokai Watch in the UK? Did I miss something?
The
UK,
first game was
ran
released.
15 or so the anime on Cartoon Network, and then they looped it back to the start. The game was delayed till the same time Yokai America, and then about when did Yokai Watch come out? Because I kind of lost interest in it after that whole thing, because I felt it's like I watched like some Americans play it, and it's like they praise it, and it's like, yes, I wanted to play it, but I felt it's a bit. I'm not paying like 40 quid for a game that's been out since like 2012, 2000.
Yeah, at that point it was an old game. It was just new to us, and it wasn't fair to release it full price.
The anime, was it like ultra censored or something?
No, it's not a very good anime.
Sorry, here.
It was actually mostly uncensored in the English dub. There were a few changes, like what was the pop band? Like the pop band that was in bikinis was sort of like put out of bikinis. Harmonious Meow or Meowny or whatever they are.
In Japan, they were called Meow KB48, which obviously were a software parody of AKB48 as cats, but in America and the West, they were just next to Meowny.
Did they remove all the music from that band?
In Yokai Watch, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be the same music in Japan, since I haven't seen too much of the Japan version.
I've watched like the first episode of Yokai Watch in Japanese, and it's actually quite good, because specifically for the UK airing of Yokai Watch, they took out the original the English version of Gero Gero Po, and just because they made up their own song for the game. But obviously, I think in America they did air that for like a couple episodes, then people complained and changed it back.
Oh, that Yokai Watch theme that's like, Yokai, you're everywhere! Fuck that song. Fuck that song so hard.
That's the one.
Gera Gera Po is such a better song.
You mean, to me, in my opinion, I've hated it at first, but then it's one of those songs that grow on you, kind of like with...
Yeah, like cancer cells. It grows on you. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's one way to put it, really.
It got to the point where I'm not used to the person who will skip openings, but I had to skip that because I just hated it so much.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
hate it so much. Oh,
but
God.
now you mention it, I do adore most of the Japanese Yokai Watch songs since they're really good and sung by mostly like one band who does all the songs in both the games and the anime, which is probably a good achievement, I would say.
But the thing that got me as well is that they kept the original ending theme.
Yeah, Yokai Exercises #1 is left pretty much unchanged.
But they changed the intro to the shitty one.
Yeah. And then even when they bring in Yokai Exercises #2, it's still the Japanese song. It's just the intro they changed. It's bullshit.
Matsu, are you okay?
I actually do find it odd, but still good that they kept only the ending themes. I mean, at least
tech difficulties.
No, I think he's talking to somebody like parents or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
maybe they accidentally caught it.
Oh.
And who caught this time? Oh, alright, Matsu.
But anyways, as I was gonna say, that I think it's impressive and something I find good that at least the Western version of the anime at least keeps most of the original ending themes, including the second and third one, which I do like. The first one, which is the classic dance and song, being kept in there is something I find to at least be good.
Let's blame the yokai, it's all their fault.
It's all their fault. All their fault.
Yeah.
Watch. What time is it? You can't tell the time with the yokai watch, you fucking idiot. Do 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 do.
It's kind of the same thing, but for those who watch the Pretty Cure dub, like season 1 of Pretty Cure, well, again, the UK changed the intro and the ending. But the Canadian one actually kept the original intro the same. But for one of the episodes,
Jeremy Billhouse.
Yo, Jeremy, welcome, brother.
He's actually trying to join the voice lobby, but he doesn't have inner circle approval.
Ah, Jeremy doesn't have inner circle approval. Okay, just 1 second. I will see to that. Jeremy. Yeah, Abby Leffel, Jeremy. Roles inner circle approved. And
I'm just gonna finish what I was gonna say. For one of the episodes, they actually did this huge kind of musical number on stage, and it was actually the Japanese ending theme, but they completely translated it for English, and they made it fit the actual song, which I thought was brilliant. If they'd kept that for the ending, that would have been pretty sweet. But that's all I'm going to say.
Oh my god!
How are you?
Urban Yeti.
Yeah, same here. And I don't like it.
Oh, double rainbow. All the way across the sky.
Yay. I don't know the game we played, our friend Escape Route. What is this game?
What, this game right now?
Ah, I don't know.
Oh my god, I can hear myself. Ah!
It's echoing.
Ah! You're stupid. No, you're stupid.
It's really, really nice. It reminds me of the game on the GBC, the first Castlevania.
Oh, Castlevania. Oh, that was Holy Diver. Oh, I can hear myself again. Ah! Ah! Why not enable push to talk?
No.
Oh.
What is your game? What is your favorite game, guys?
Favorite game?
All console, of all platforms.
NES, Xbox 360.
For myself, the better game for me is a Crazy Konami Racer.
Oh, nice.
It's a
Good
really,
choice.
really good game. On GBA,
Mm.
it's
YY Racing. Very good choice.
The echo is still on.
sorry.
Echo, echo, echo.
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 It's maybe me, I think.
Yeah, could you turn that echo thing off? It's annoying us.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's
Thanks,
still there.
bro, and have a nice day.
I guess he wanted to leave and he did not know how to fix it, but I guess he just wanted to.
It's a very quick conversation, but
I
thank
appreciate you
for
coming
staying
in all the
with
same,
us,
Jeremy.
Mr. Bill Houtz.
Very
Oh my god, somebody's they've modded Game Boy Color had Boy Horror from Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I know this is going really off.
So did they just paint it and change the letters slightly and call it a Game Boy Horror?
Like no, they've redone, you know, the outside bit of the screen. They've done it so that they've made a completely new one that has Game Boy Horror on it. So it's not like you can't see that now. It's been originally a Game Boy Color. And it's even the translucent one like Luigi has.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Is there anything else besides what I want to talk about, actually?
Anything else cool from Tokyo Game Show? Oh,
Oh,
CX
indeed,
stories, if
actually,
you got
there's
any?
one. Oh,
Matsu's voice is too quiet, not loud.
Is this any better?
Much better.
Much better, yes.
no, anyways,
Yes,
there is
I am
actually
right up
one.
against my phone.
Let
Yeah.
Matsu say something.
Okay. I was gonna say this earlier. I know
he's
this is
quiet
going
again.
off topic, but we haven't really spoke about this in a while. CEX stories.
Oh yes, CX story.
Yes. Tell me, what's
Far more
happened?
interesting than Yokai was.
Oh, did you go there, Sushi?
I'm just kidding. I'm just
You're gonna have a bad time.
Okay,
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 come
as long
on
as it's
now, I'm only kidding.
okay, as long as it's just a joke and you're kidding, that's fine. Okay.
Not
You're allowed your opinion, however wrong it is, Sushi.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Somebody fall over.
No, I
No.
almost dropped my copy of.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Anyway,
Any-
take it away, Matsu.
I don't have any. I was asking if anyone else had any.
handle it.
Well, I have some
What you-
CX stories, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've
Take
got
it
some
away,
sex
Albie.
stories. Well,
Do it.
I went to Hastings the other day with my family, and I actually visited the Hastings CX store.
Oh wait,
They told me it's the 16th smallest CEX store ever. And it was a very small store. It was teeny. Out of curiosity, I got them to tell me some information about my CEX account, because when they load up your CEX account, they can get all that information up. Like how much you've ever spent there, how many trips you've had to the store, etc, etc. I've spent over £2,000 in CEX.
Whoa.
I know, right? It's ridiculous. I could have bought a fucking car.
How small was that CEX shop? Was it like as small as like my bedroom or something?
Well, I don't know how big your bedroom is, genius.
It's not very big. It's
I said the CEX store wasn't very big.
Ceiling.
Let me try and describe the size of the
give us an
CEX
idea
store.
of how small the CEX is.
Let me try and describe it in a way that might make sense to you. You know, like a double-decker bus?
Yes.
Like half the length of a double-decker bus and only one floor.
That's small.
That's that CEX store.
Okay.
Basically, a slightly
yeah,
squashed rectangle, and very small.
Whoa.
I mean,
There's a teeny store.
I've never been to a CEX that small before. Not that I like CEX or anything.
Anyway, it's like,
I've made so many trips to CEX, and they all end up in me saying, "You're saying to myself, you're charging how much for what game slash system slash add-on?" It's usually how it ends. Like, I once went into the one in Carlisle, and they were charging £70 for the Mega CD 2 on it, but the console itself. I thought that was a bit. It's like if you were selling it with the console, and with the that, then it would maybe, but £70.
Yeah,
the
the Sega
console
CD
add-on
with a Mega Drive for 70 would be good.
Hey,
But
Gary.
the Sega CD on its own.
Oh,
Yo, it's Gary.
I just came up with a great idea.
What's that, Mazzo?
I don't know, the last silly thing I saw in Computer Exchange, or whatever they want to call themselves now, is a copy of Streets of Rage 2 for £40.
Ouch.
£40
Oh.
for Streets of Rage 2, that's not a rare game.
I actually believe you on that, since in America it was common with any Sega the Genesis bought here in like the 80s, which I don't know that at the time as a child, but I've heard stories of it on the internet, which I believed.
I'll be right back.
Yes, Draven, it is in a shopping centre, tucked away in a corner of a shopping centre.
And the one that I forgot the line that was. They at one point said a copy of Streets of Rage 2, which was, to be honest, really good for about £28. I thought that's okay. I asked them if I could look at it, and they said, "Oh no, we can't have it. We can't handle it over the counter. You can't counter." Which I thought that was odd, because beforehand I've been given a Mega Drive game to check over the counter. It's like a good deal thing, that I was in there to possibly buy it. So after they said, "Do you want to buy it?" I was like, "No, thank you. I'm just going to leave it." After like 2 attempts it over the counter and have a look at the cartridge myself.
I
They
don't
just
know
all
if you
sell that.
the cartridge and run out the stock. It sums up how trustworthy they are, the customers.
I've been in that CX multiple times by Mega Drive games, and I always ask them to look at what the condition is, just to make sure it's good, because I don't want to have like a copy of your say Streets of Rage 2. I buy it for a good amount, and I don't want it to get home and it just doesn't work at all. I don't want that to happen, because I want to enjoy the game, I want to play them.
Of course. It's sensible to want to have a look at it. The easiest thing would be for them to say, "Okay, here it is," and hold it in front of you, and then you say, "Can I see the whatever?" And then they say, "Sure," and then they show you the whatever. Like, if they don't want to hand it to the customer, fair enough. I kind of get that. But they don't have to be like shitty about it.
Handle them before. That's what I'm getting at. Is before they were fine with me.
Was it because of the cost of the game?
No, I think was it about 20 quid for a copy of Wonder Boy 3 I bought from them, and they were completely fine with me handling it that.
Weird.
But yet, Streets of Rage 2, which is only £8 more, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. I feel it's...
And the same member of staff? I'm just trying to do like a scientific evaluation here. Was it the same member of staff as well?
Well, no, it was. I'm pretty sure they were new as well, because they didn't want as experienced as the rest of them.
That might be why then. Maybe they were doing it by what they're trained, and perhaps the regular staff are more sort of like lenient.
Possibly. I remember that happened to me with Tesco once, because they had a Tesco rewards card, and well, they had a voucher to get money off the game, and I went to the till and they just said to me, "Oh, sorry, you can't use this voucher on video games, it can only be used on food." It's like going, And I then read the back of the label, said, there's nothing saying this on the back of the thing. I said, well, that's what the manager told me. Went downstairs, oh yeah, it worked then.
Yeah. That's just a job's worth. That just sounds like an absolute job's worth.
It was clearly written on the back of the actual receipt what you could not use it for, though, so they could not say we're making rubbish up.
I had an amazing idea a couple of minutes ago.
Yes, let's actually hear your idea before someone else talks over you. Oh,
Yes.
sorry, Matzo! Carry on.
I want to take public transport to every CEX in the UK.
If you made videos, like, today I'm in CEX wherever, yeah, then do it, because you could make, like, videos out of it, and people would go like, where's the crazy kid gonna be this time? Hello, I'm in CEX,
No, I was
Stamford
gonna do, like, one
Bridge.
video where I just go to every CEX. If I were to do
Make
that.
that entire series, though.
Yeah, just be well, not one, but just a note. There's like 3 within like the kind of centre of Glasgow. With well, there's 2 in the centre of Glasgow, with one in the shopping centre, which is like maybe about a 10-minute bus ride. So there's a lot of sea to go around in Glasgow.
One in Glasgow.
Exactly, if you count where I come from, near Leeds is technically free. They're not right next to each other, but they're all technically in Leeds. one's in a shopping centre, but it's still, they're all different sizes, but it's 3 of them. Even if you did a video every single store, it would take you at least on like 50 episodes to finish it off. Then you've got the fact if they allow you filming it, because you know some UK shops don't like people filming anything in the shops, even though it's the most trivialist thing. The thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why,
People are weird
really
like
can't
that.
really
I'm
buy
gonna
it
walk
over
into
here.
the shop discreetly with my phone, just like as if I was flicking through Facebook or something.
Americans
You don't
care
need to
less
wear
about
glasses, do you,
shop.
Matzo? Like, your vision's good, right?
I have glasses.
You do or you don't?
I do.
Ah, shit. Because I was thinking if
But yeah,
you
Greg, we
don't,
don't care
you
if
could
you're
wear
funny, it
camera
just-
glasses,
It's because
that
we know
way-
about YouTube being popular.
that way nobody would know that you're filming video.
Yeah.
It's not that. The thing you're paranoid and the thing you're doing something illegal, like you're filming it to get like location of stores so people can find ways to steal things quicker. When this all the nonsense to think of where no, you're just filming a shelf. That's all you're doing. You're not being anything about else. But they don't think like that. They think you're doing something suspicious and something illegal, even though you're not doing something illegal because well, you're filming a shelf.
Okay, guys, this is where we're gonna rob the SNES from the shop.
It would not surprise me if this is why they're thinking of it, why some places are funny about that. Reminds me of one person saw film in a shop and said, "Oh, the shop said it was fine filming every single part of the shop, but not this one cabinet had that decorative swords in it. You can't film that." But yeah. That's not suspicious at all, is it? I mean, if you're that embarrassed about it, if you're that worried about selling swords, and you don't want people filming it, why are you selling them then?
Yeah.
Not in public.
Oh yeah, here's something I found out. I think, well, I mean, it's like you hear this from anybody, but apparently something to do with MCR in Scotland. Apparently, like if you see so many stuff, this certain, well, I don't want to say what product it is, just because this could be like stuff that not many people should know. But I thought just this because I think it's interesting. Like these stalls will have a certain product, and there'll be like 5, 6 of them in a row. There's a reason that they've all got this is because the company that owns it can have a stick in this, in with these products. So they're trying to sell as many as they can.
Anyways, I got something to mention.
What is it?
So fun.
2 things to mention, in fact. The first thing is that Death Smiles 1 and 2 are coming to additional platforms thanks to Cave and a subsidiary of them called City Connection.
Ooh. I'm not so bothered about seeing Death Smiles again, but Death Smiles 2, yes please. I am very excited.
I never read anything about Death Smiles 2. I thought they were just re-releasing the Cave Apple versions again, so they actually work again now. After, you know, Apple screwed them up.
And I am back.
Well, Death Smiles 2 was a thing for a while, but it was digital only on 360, but had a physical version.
Yeah, it was never available in Europe for some reason, even the US version, literally the Japanese version, and even bother changing a thing about it. It was literally just sold the Japanese game on the US marketplace with zero changes. Like, why can you sell it in Europe?
why the fuck not? They did the same for Shootin' Love.
Yeah, neither of them were sold in Europe though.
I think Shootin' Love was. Shootin' Love 2000X, I think was.
I think you can get that on Steam now though, I think.
Ooh, can you? Ooh, I'll put that on my wish list.
You might be able to, but they might split up in a separate game.
Most of the cave shoot 'em ups are on Steam, like Mushihime-sama and Espagaluda, and Death Smiles are all on Steam, of course.
Akai Katana and the last Dodon patch game out on Switch. But they are on Switch, but they aren't on Steam either. They're still only on free.
Akai Katana is still on 360. I just want that to be on any other platform by now.
Which version of Mario is this, DLB?
This is a Mario Brothers hack that is Metroid themed.
Oh,
I can't remember the exact name of it.
I was gonna say that track right there, the one from Dimble, that's like something you'd see. I thought it was ISO had Mario.
Paper, is it me, or is there something wrong with your mic? It keeps turning itself on off every few seconds or so.
It's probably silence detection.
Oh, cool, well.
Can you repeat that, please, Paper?
I actually got a weird part of like bad story about C8, but it's a very old one.
Your computer has a cold.
Yeah, I've got a cold.
Okay.
So if I'm sniffling or coughing, that's what.
No, I didn't mean your cold. I meant your microphone keeps cutting itself off every few nanoseconds.
I'm not sure why it's doing that. Maybe it's the connection, accommodation, or just how
yeah, I
silent
remember
detection.
you're on an accommodation. Yeah,
it's a different. So it's
internet.
If I can't get through this gap, I'm quitting.
Well, this is a bit of a crappy design level, isn't it?
Yeah, if I can't get through this gap, I'm fucking quitting.
Anyways,
Can Mario not turn into a morph ball?
Anyways, there's actually more to what I mentioned about Death Smiles than what was said. There's also further details, and, well, what it was while further details were not announced, the Death Smiles ports are listed as multi-platform expansion number 1 for Cave, suggesting that other Cave titles may be coming to additional platforms in the future.
Well, yeah, here we go. Here's my stupid story about CAX. It's a very old story, but when they were the very first one they had in my town, well, my middle brother, once bought a Japanese copy of Marvel vs. Capcom there. It was fairly cheap at the time. It was like, what, like £10? I know the game were already out in English at the time, but you know, this was a time when places still sold like foreign Japanese games.
Yeah. Like CEX used to.
Well, he brought it home, and the disc was scratched like complete crazy.
Oh, that's not good.
And then he took it back to CEX, and they went, they can't believe they even sold a disc of that poor quality. Yeah, they would not give my brother just the £10, but oh no, you're only getting loyalty credit back. So we had to put a bit more and ended up getting, a Capcom vs SNK for the Dreamcast, which is an absolutely terrible cover in Europe. So we got another Capcom game instead. That was the first SNK game I ever played.
So, is this CEX place you keep bringing up some sort of pawn shop? Because we don't even have
sort of.
places.
Sort of.
EX is a shop in the UK.
I know. I mean, I
It's
can.
not true,
even
they have them in
sell
Australia as well,
pre-owned,
not even just
technology.
UK only.
What Matsu said.
I didn't even hear Matsu because Gary talked over him. Sorry.
Problem with Matsu is his microphone is too quiet.
No, Gary was talking over him.
I wouldn't be able to hear him if Gary was talking over him, and Matsu had a too quiet microphone.
I can hear Matsu fine, actually.
You couldn't hear Matsu vaguely.
That's the only bad thing that's ever really happened in CX to me, pretty much, though. Well, anyone I know in years, so...
I've
compared to
probably already told you about my Disgaea mishap / not so mishap. Like when I intended to buy Disgaea 1, and I ended up buying Disgaea 2 at a cheaper price.
You did mention that, yeah.
What when shops give you the wrong game in a disc happened multiple times to me.
That's happened to me.
I remember in Game Station I bought a used copy of Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2, and then I had to go back the other day and take it back because I put the disc of Dynasty Warriors Gundam 1 in instead. It happened when my brother bought Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 on I think it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 he bought, or maybe it would have, I don't know. It was one of them. He got it for GameCube and ended up putting the game before his disc in because the disc printing design on both games looks nearly identical. So they're constantly being left in the shelf together, the discs, and they picked the wrong disc up.
For me, it was, well, it wasn't a wrong disc per se, but when I bought Spyro 2 from game, like when the Platinum hits, or the Platinum version was out, my mum was busy on the phone. Like obviously she was like my dad or somebody had phoned, you know, and she was too busy with that. I was trying to get the new game, because like I only got a game maybe once a year, like with my birthday money or that. So when I went for it, it's like they were like, "Is this everything?" And they'd only put the manual in, and she went, "Yes, that's everything." It wasn't until I got home that I probably had the chance to say to her, "Look, I don't have the disc for my game. We need to go back." And she had that look, as like, "Oh, for God's sake." Back out we went. And then
that happened to me once in game, kind of, but it's even stranger. I mean, they had a bunch of PC games that were selling for like £1. I get a copy of the game MDK, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Well, this game was just the CD case. It was sealed up. Bought it, no CD in it.
What?
Now somehow I took it back to game and they did give me a refund.
Oh, lucky you. And
you know what? I got a refund. I got this trading card folder that were called Pokemon like Southern Island. It were a proper like Pokemon trading card set, which I think like Pokemon cards printed only for it, which had a Mew and some postcard and 2 packs of thing for which you had on sale for £1 instead. That's not bad. Another kind of story that it was more mixed up games is I went into the same game that this happened with Spyro 2, and I got a copy of Advance Wars Dark Conflict of what I thought. It wasn't until I got like the seal and everything I realized it's not Dark Conflict. It was Advance Wars Dual Strike, which was more expensive. So I thought, oh, I've got the more expensive game for cheaper. So I never went to sort it out, and instead just thought, oh, I'll wait after like a week or so of doing my paper round. I'll get the next game. By the time,
I'm gonna drop out of the lobby. You guys take care. I'll see you next time.
All right, take care, Sushi. Much love.
So I went the next week. I went in to go and get Dual Strike, and it was gone. Somebody bought it, so I didn't get my copy of Dark Conflict. So yeah,
and that's one thing that seems to happen to me with game multiple times, and specifically with this one game, and that was Shadow Hearts 2. I'd go into my local game and I'd have the case and the shelf for it, and I'd never have the game in the actual shop. It was just an empty case. This happened to me twice, so I think it was the same case twice that I put back on the shelf. Then I went on a holiday trip, just on a day trip to Skegness in a used game. In the game used, and about 5 copies of the thing. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a copy now. Well, technically I've got 2 copies because I got one off. I bought one off someone.
So, yeah, I got something else to talk about, actually.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys hear about, at least confirmation from Capcom about a new Mega Man game being developed?
Is this the mobile game Rockman X Dive, or is this something else?
No, the mobile game is more of a side project. Capcom has reiterated that the next Mega Man game is still in development, and that is a part of the mainline series, and that the mobile game is more of a side project for them.
To be honest, I would rather have a Mega Man X game more than a Mega Man game, personally, because I like the X games more than classic Mega Man, though saying that I do really like the classic Game Boy games, because I think they're pretty fun.
I prefer Legends than the EXE series and Mega Man X. The mainline games, don't get me wrong, are good. They are fun, and they are what they were when they were first made. But I don't see myself playing them again or going back to them, since they didn't catch me as much. I loved the other ones better.
Oh, you didn't mention the one funny thing about the new Castlevania mobile game in hand. It's a sequel to Harmony and Despair. You know, the one that makes me multiplayer focused. How is that going to work as a phone game? You could have played a game like that with Twitch control as well.
Oh, thing is, Gary, that mobile game is a sequel to that, but it also has its own story plot focused, like it's a full-on actual
game. That's a story
game.
This time, which the original didn't have. I don't get companies to do that, but put more effort into a stupid phone version and do real console versions.
Dude,
if you want an example of that gone mad, it's Nomura and all the Kingdom Hearts sequels and spin-offs that you can't even play anymore.
What's more funny is when it comes to Japanese animes get one, and they have half the story of the anime in a phone game that's a free-to-play game, which then dies, and so then the show makes no sense.
So what dies? What are you on about, Gary?
I'm just saying, Japanese companies are weird like that when it comes to the phone games. They'll make a game where there's quite a big part of the storyline, and being a phone game that barely anyone got to play, and if you couldn't play it when it came out, you've no chance.
The only games I know that are super important to a game's storyline is Kingdom Hearts Cross Union.
I can remember. I think there was one that come out, wasn't it? That game, Valkyrie Drive. That's a weird one because there were technically 3 versions of that. There was a phone game which had its own characters, a game which had its own characters, and an anime that had its own characters. But they weren't really tied into each other because like no characters from the game, like in the anime version. It's like, what's going on? Why do you make 3 versions of the same stuff?
But then, if those two have different characters, but where does the Vita one tie in really exactly?
There only is one game in the series on the Vita, and that's what I'm getting at. There was a phone game which was about different characters, and the anime was also about different characters.
It kind of reminds me. Did any of you watch that Kemono Friends, the anime that was like about the?
It was made. Yeah, that's a funny one. Then it was made to sell a phone game, and the phone game died before the show came out.
But that's actually a really interesting story. Yeah, that's actually an interesting story. It was made to be a phone game, but then there was a director that wanted to make an anime based on it. The anime took off, sold at least more than.
Yeah, well then the anime completely die again because all the fans got annoyed how the director or something. Then none of them wanted to know the show anymore.
No. What it was they changed directors for season 2. Season 1 ran perfectly with all the episodes, and the show ran more with more fans and more money revenue than the game. That died out sadly, and when season 3 comes out, which yes, that's going to happen, it will either please the fans by bringing back the old director, or just at least come out when Sega's Kimono Friends 3 game comes out.
It's a very weird situation, isn't it? It's technically it was a game that failed that ended up becoming popular.
Popular because of the show and not the game itself, but they were
actually... the game came back just because of the show, they just leave the game completely dead.
Actually, there were rumors that Sega themselves would bring back the old Nexon game that actually got closed down.
But it became popular, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Sega are really pushing Kimono Friends hard in Japan.
Because it's a huge series, it's massive. I mean, it even beat Berserk, which is a thing. I mean,
well, let's be real. If you're comparing Kimono Friends with the modern 3D anime Berserk, it's pretty easy to see how Kimono Friends would win.
Fair comparison, really, because the Friends were literally made by about 3 people.
I'm sorry, I just got messaged the most crazy.
Sorry, what was that, Matzo?
That's like comparing the Pixar movie to the Crazy Frog, but animated by one person, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I mean, I'll admit that Kimono Friends looks really decent. Berserk 2016 and then the more modern seasons, no.
It looks so bad.
I just, every time I see that,
well, you gotta remember the history of the Berserk one's really weird when you think about it. So they got a company that just made slice of life girly shows to make Berserk, and they wanted to make it the first CGI show they made as well. It's like, what a weird. I mean, you think you'd pick a more safe project to start off than Berserk or something like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and keep in mind, they never, ever in a million years touched CG animation or did anything with CG, so when you're someone...
The Kimono thing is, the person who created it did nothing but CG animation, so like being simple animation, he knew how to do CG animation, so he had that going for itself.
I'm sorry,
and also I need...
now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You already?
I was also gonna bring up the Sega Hard Girls and how good.
Oh, Sega Hard Girls is amazing.
In a free animation program.
Bye, Matzo.
Matzo, ladies and gentlemen.
Sega Hard Girls. It was actually
made in a free animation program.
It was made in MMD, but that doesn't invalidate the show in any way.
Make it terrible, no.
Yeah. But it's in fact, it's just even more impressive to me what they managed to pull off in MMD for that show.
I remember MMD being everywhere back in the day in my old weeb days of a teen era, which...
Yeah, 2008, 2009, MMD was everywhere.
And just...
I think people still use it, so stuff makes up these days.
Only Japan would. I mean, Japan doesn't even know the ways of SFM, they only know MMD in Japan.
Yeah, it's still looking at the really, really early MMD stuff. All I can think of is, my god, everything's clipping through each other.
Yeah.
There's no collision any of them.
I don't think people really were bothered at the time. They just thought, look, 3D animation, and they didn't try to make it look super posh on purpose.
I definitely watched some stuff from back in the day that was impressive with MMD, but they're few and far between. I remember watching
it's like
what was essentially a parody of Elevator Action with Miku in it, and that was really good. I might see if I can track it down.
You know the weirdest edit ever was on an anime one? I saw a clip of this on YouTube, but it was so confusing. Now, this was an edit made for Japanese TV, it was not made for American TV, and it was involving One Piece. I don't know the name of the character, but there's some guy with in a boa and he looks like Elton John with pink hair and...
oh god, I know.
He's on front of loads of the One Piece games, so he must have been in this program for quite a bit. Well, the thing that made me laugh is there was a scene, I don't know, I guess he had powers where he could detach his limbs or something, and for some hilarious reason, they was so worried on TV as showing his head with him without head on. So he showed his head lying on the ground, like zoomed in on it, so you couldn't see it.
Are you talking about Buggy the Clown?
No, not Buggy the Clown. And this is why it gets more funny, because Buggy the Clown were like this, but this other guy, and they censored him for doing the exact same things Buggy the Clown did on TV. But this way it got really hilariously weird. So his head had fallen off, so there was a big stump where he was. There was no detail to this thing in the unedited version, but the TV edit, they edited like a computer-generated swirly effect around the neck stump. So it looked visually more impressive edited than it did the original unedited version. It's like, why was this edited to begin with? So weird.
Speaking of... go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of One Piece, have you seen the edit 4Kids made for when Buggy tried to stab Luffy when he's in the cage, where they just reverse the footage so it looks like it bounces off?
Well, it's not the worst edit. I mean, they could have done worse.
Yeah, it could have been
you do realise the only reason why that version of One Piece exists in the first place is because of Toei. They wanted that. So everyone who blames 4Kids for it, no, it's not their fault. Toei made it because they were picking up other Toei shows at the time. They got One Piece at the same time, and that's why that show exists.
I mean, I see it as maybe introducing it to children, but then when those children grow up and look at the real One Piece...
Obviously when 4Kids bought the show, they didn't realise the content of it.
Yeah.
What would happen is Toei went, hey, we've got this show for you, just dub it. And they wouldn't have probably barely seen any of the content of it, and that's why it's like it is.
You know, the one thing...
If I remember correctly, speaking of 4Kids, if that had kept going, and because they edited out the arc on the Giant's Island, which causes a continuity error later on in the series, because they wanted to get to Chopper fast, because they thought, oh, it'll be like Pikachu, he'll be huge in America.
Funny, there actually was plans for a Chopper action figure when the Americans were making One Piece figures, but it never came out because they cancelled the action figure line after one series. And there's no plans for a Nami figure, even in the second series. There was no
Chopper is actually... Chopper is actually considered... Chopper's considered the Pikachu of the One Piece fandom in Japan, but not outside of Japan, oddly enough.
It might be now,
And in Japan, Chopper is actually voiced by Akio Tani, i.e.
Really?
Yeah, Pikachu.
Yep. Along with, because somebody mentioned Mega Man Legends earlier, Bonbon is also Akio Tani.
That was me, I mentioned Mega Man Legends.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
Bonbon is Akio. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes,
cool.
The Baboos from Bonbon is Akio Tani.
She's the voice of all the cute things.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, besides Misadventures of Chon Bon, they brought in an American actor for that for some reason, and I think it was a different actor, the Japanese version. But besides that, it's Akira Tani all the way for Bon.
One issue that everyone's talking about 4Kids is put loads of stuff in animes out, but they'll be fine showing it in the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show, also by them.
Yes.
But you couldn't have the exact same scene in the Japanese show, but it was fine for Ninja Turtles to do it.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4 turtles.
So good.
I mean, there was an episode of the 2003 Ninja Turtles show that never aired in America because they thought it was too creepy, they just skipped it. It didn't get skipped in the UK or in other places, but in America.
Everybody says that they grew up with the 80s or 90s Ninja Turtles. You know what Ninja Turtles I grew up with? It was the 2003 one. That was my Ninja Turtles that I grew up with, to be honest.
I grew up with that as well.
Well, all the 2003 Ninja Turtles games were all by Konami, just like the 81s.
Yeah.
So they have something in common.
Yeah.
The only 2003 Turtles game I ever played was one of the ones in the Game Boy Advance, only because my pal at secondary had it on his Game Boy Advance.
I I've got all the PS2 2003 Turtles games. There's 4 of them. One of them's a Smash Brothers clone, pretty much, but the other ones.
That's Smash Up.
Yeah.
TMNT Smash Up.
The other ones are odd ones because mechanically none of them play the same. They changed the mechanics of every one. The second one's the worst one of all.
Yeah, I only like the first one.
Battle Next, the second one, were a bit of a mess because it seemed to be designed to be played multiple people at once, and it was just stupidly difficult when you're playing by yourself.
The one I played on GB, if I remember correctly, you chose which turtle you wanted to play as, and it was different. Like it was a different stage.
Different story, yeah. That's that's the first one.
An interesting thing about the third Ninja Turtles game is because technically there were only 2 GBA ones. The third one was a DS one. Baxter Stockman is in the DS version of Turtles 3, but he's not in any of the other versions. I just found that kind of weird.
How odd.
Yeah, he's only in the DS version as a character. I don't know why they left him out, but odd, but something I noticed.
Well, mate, it's like I noticed this. The DS version of Sonic Color, the DS version, besides obviously the missions, that it actually brings back the Batbot enemies from Carnival Night for the Starlight Carnival level, which I thought was pretty cool, and they act almost exactly the way they did in the original. So that was a pretty
that's a strange way to start a game. It starts with help and the copyright of the company that made it before even title screens. Bit odd.
Hey, do you guys mind if I tell a story, actually?
Go ahead, sorry, I've been talking so...
Right, it was while I was in the live stream for the second Atlas Tokyo Game Show presentation for Day 1 and Day 2. If you want to know what was going on in the live chat, I'll tell you, but it was very toxic. What was going on in the chat was nothing but English, members, like nothing but English speakers. All the Japanese people in there were like, what are they talking about? Like, it was just English speakers just saying nothing but Shin Megami Tensei 5 versus SMT5, SMT5 when? Where's SMT5? This looks like SMT5. It's like, okay, we get it, you want SMT5, Sega will probably announce it with Atlas next year. Calm down.
I'm more excited for Star Wars, but then again, I'm also really excited, really hyped up for Persona 5 to go.
But yeah, that's what I was just saying during the whole chat while they're being toxic, was I was just being calm saying, oh, I like this looks good, I like Shinsekai some words, yet everyone was just still being toxic, saying the same thing about Shin Megami Tensei 5, like they're so impatient.
You know what else is really confusing about that last Ninja Turtles game, the third one Konami made? It comes with the arcade version of Turtles in Time, but they redid all the soundtrack. It's got none of the original music.
How odd.
You know where it gets stranger is when you play a level, you get the 2003 music, which sort of makes sense, I guess. But it gets weirder though, because then the reshelled version comes out, and you think, oh, that would use the arcade version music. Nope, it does not. I know it does not use the music from the 2003.
Well, that's because reshelled wasn't. Konami had no hand in that. That was entirely Ubisoft.
So Turtles in Time has 3 different soundtracks depending what console you're playing it on.
And the only good one is the Super Nintendo one.
And the original's the only, and the arcade Nintendo one's the only good one.
I still like the Hyperstone Heist, but that's maybe because I'm a Mega Drive fan.
Yeah, I do like Hyperstone Heist, I will admit. It's probably my favourite. Just because it's so breezy. It's so easy to complete. You can just sort of sit down with Hyperstone Heist and beat it.
Another odd thing about the Turtles in Time reshelled version is the Ninja Turtles have no eye pupils. So it looks like the 2003 Ninja Turtles.
Sounds like it,
And
yeah.
they have the 2003 Ninja Turtles voices, which is so confusing.
1, 2, 3, 4 turtles.
At the same time, the arcade original version of the Turtles you get on 360 is slightly weird as well. Oh, you've got all the proper voices back from the original arcade version and all the original Ninja Turtles music. Though when the character select screen, it's the CGI turtles from the CGI movie. Instead of the drawings of the 2D turtles, which are left out. What's that all about?
That's probably because the people who packaged it together.
But at the same time, it still doesn't make any sense.
The people who packaged that version together probably only had those assets to use.
Yeah.
So they created the menu with those assets, but because the game itself is just being is an arcade ROM being emulated. Just like the in-game isn't affected, and it's got all the original music and voice clips.
I honestly never had any experience with any of the Ninja Turtles games.
About the Turtles in Time Green Shell thing. There's some early trailers for the game, and it had the arcade music, and people were wondering where's this music in the final game. They use it in the old trailers. That's
probably because they didn't have permission to use it.
And then there was the final one, which always made me laugh, and you probably can't find the video, but the Xbox guy Major Nelson did a video, and he said he was coming out soon, Ninja Turtles Time Reshelled, and he clearly showed gameplay footage of the 2003 Ninja Turtles, the last Konami Turtles game, basically the 2003 series.
How does he fuck up that bad? Come on, Nelson.
Yeah, exactly. It was the promo was only like a minute long, and they can't get the correct game.
Was that on like Inside Xbox?
It was on a thing called Major Minute, not Major Nelson.
Oh yeah.
I think. I was just like, how did you manage that?
Well, like I said,
it reminds me of another screw up we did in one of them, where they used to do a video that was available on Xbox itself. It was just a video that loaded up and played through it that showed all the games coming out this week with video footage of it. Which is something I don't understand why they don't do these days, because it doesn't hurt any publisher showing video footage or something. But they don't do it anymore. But the funniest thing is, it showed up in the video footage, Double Dragon 2, a game that actually got released like about 6 months later and was absolutely terrible. No, I never bought the 360 version of Double Dragon 2, by the way. I mean, the demo enough of it.
Wait, which Double Dragon are you talking about? The horrible one on 360?
Yes, the one on the 360 that was called Double Dragon 2, which was not a remake of Double Dragon 2. It had nothing to do with Double Dragon 2 whatsoever. And it had great ideas in it, like, oh yeah, you want to get the best ending? Well, you can't use a special move.
What?
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
That's so stupid! That reminds me of, like, Dragon Quarter. Where it's like, oh, you want to see this? You want to beat the game? Don't use your special abilities in battle. So stupid. Why would you build a game like that?
The thing is, ERB, that game is.
I think one game that's even more stupider requirement, and that's the Konami NX game called what's it called, Penguin Adventure, the sequel to Arctic Adventure.
But
get the best ending in the game. You can't pause the game more than once.
What?
What? Can't pause the game more than
the game affect anything.
Well, if it was Wolfenstein, if it was the new Wolfenstein, you wouldn't be able to pause it anyway. So, anyway, Jonah was saying.
Wolfenstein, these troll achievements where it's
Jonah was saying.
I was gonna say something, Gary, if you don't mind. That I was gonna say, ERB. Funny thing about Dragon Culture is that the game has mixed views and criticisms outside of Japan. Yet in Japan, they actually tolerate the game and actually love it despite all of that.
Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
Real game in the series since it. No, that phone game don't count because he's dead now. No one can play it, so it might as well never exist.
No, the thing is, it was just a really stupid idea. Even Japan hated the idea that the 6th game can be a mobile.
And they even called it 6, we make it more of an insult.
Yeah, it was the 6th game, and it was mobile only, and Japan hated the idea. I mean, I saw it. There was, like, ratings of the Google Play Store of the 6th game on the Play Store for Japan. It was just a total of 1.3. Nobody liked it, not even Japan. They hated it so much.
And it's bad when Japan hates it because they seem to be a lot less. They hate stuff a lot less than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to be a lot more lenient.
When Japanese people really hate something, it's when they made that PS3 JoJo game and they put loads of stupid timers in it, like it were to sell microtransactions.
Is All-Star Battle like that? Oh shit.
Well, that was just the campaign mode, you know that, right? That was just one mode where they did that. Everything else...
It's a stupid idea that should never be in a game.
If I remember correctly,
they
isn't it
advertise
one...
it anywhere and they just threw it in the game. That's how people were mad.
I mean, I can still play it in Versus in arcade mode, which is a great way to play the game. It's pretty fun to play, even though it feels slow. It's sluggish at best. It's still fun.
I still like the JoJo game where they make a reference to the room when speaking about Lisa.
Are you talking about the one on PS4 or Dreamcast? There's like a lot of them.
There's one where it's Joseph Joestar goes. It says, "You are tearing me apart, Lisa."
Oh,
that's probably Eyes of Heaven.
Eyes of Heaven, yeah, that's the PS4 one, which I maybe need to get, but I heard mixed things about it.
Yeah,
it's good. I've got it digital on my PS4. I'm happy with it.
The characters are never. Yeah, but the most awkward thing about playing those games is the subtitles aren't matching what names the characters are saying. It looks really weird.
Yeah.
So, oh, we can't use the name Metallica, but it's alright someone saying the name Metallica. What sense does that make? Actually, I think there was a game, one of the game Japan made, where they actually did a character called Metallica, didn't it? It was not a JoJo game, I think it was an RPG Nisa made, and one of the characters was called Metallica, and they changed it to something else. But I glitch all them numbers on the screen, all that part of the game.
That's part of the game. The guy gets teleported into a computer, and he takes on the form of a kabuki because his, like, heritage is like kabuki or something. I can't quite remember the exact story, but this game's pretty nuts. It's also pretty good.
Sort of online. Sort of.
Nah, this guy's OP and just makes powers up as he goes along and just
yeah.
Them.
So kind of like
online, he could just use a cheat code instantly to the game and win.
But Sword Online, you're thinking of games like console games, and Sword Online is an MMORPG as an online game. But what I was gonna say was Kid Chameleon. Actually, if it's kind of
Kid Chameleon is the perfect example. I would say that this and Kid Chameleon are pretty similar in concept, anyway.
Mario by Sega, made by some people who made some rather really evil level designs.
Dude, did you just say Mario by Sega? That's Sonic. What you talking about?
No, Kid Chameleon plays more like Mario than Sonic does.
Kid Chameleon plays like a really heavy Mario.
Right, yeah, right.
When you bash blocks and gems drop out of them, he's very similar to Mario.
I don't know. In my opinion, Alex Kidd kind of plays like that. I played it.
Nah, it's really fun.
Nah.
Alex Kidd is Mario, but he can punch.
Yeah.
And play Jack and Kim.
And then this guy just calls him a silly pattern to remember a boss because that were a dumb idea for a boss fight.
I mean, to be honest, when I played the Enchanted Castle on the Mega Drive, I just used that one item that lets you see what the bosses are going to do.
To cheat. I mean, it should have been an optional thing to begin with.
It's more because the fact that it kills me if I lose it. So I'd rather not have that restart the level that could possibly kill me in the process trying to get back to said.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty fucking ridiculous that you die.
It's a major troll at the end, isn't it? Because if you don't know, ever had you beat the Master System when I used cheats when I was playing on 3.6 using save states, but the end of the game is chucks you in this room and you have to jump on these Tones tablets in a specific order or you instantly die. After the final bosses as well, by the way.
Oh, that's
I only
silly.
have a few seconds to do this because an invincible enemy comes and chases. Oh yeah, you think that's enough? Oh no! After that, you have to jump over a few little spike pits to get to switch after all that as well, which you guess it can also kill you. What a troll way to end your game. Oh yeah, and the treasure map telling you the actual things hidden in the game as well. So unless you read a guide, you just die there anyway.
Well, as they say, to be this good takes ages. To be this good takes Sega.
I never beat Enchanted Castle.
I did.
Nodes on, I never beat it. Well, last castle area is a complete maze and you just get lost.
I found the way somehow, and although yes, it took me quite a few attempts to do so, I'm glad the continue option is there so I can continue from there. And then I found out that if you're before the final boss, it actually does I'm pretty sure it drops you right outside it if you continue, but I could be wrong because that could be me just forgetting about it. But it was okay. I had to use that one item to beat the boss, and then just use the one to be invincible, and just.
Also, when I think of that game, I always think of that hilarious music when in a helicopter because it just sounds so.
That music is so bad.
Exactly.
Oh, hey guys, I have something to tell, and that I just found out on Niche Gamer that was mentioned in Tokyo Game Show that I didn't know until now. If you guys want to hear it, I mean, you're silent.
Well, you've
Oh sure.
you've mentioned it. The floor is yours.
Okay, then. Dragon Quest Monsters 1 Turn of Wonderland Retro is coming to Switch.
Correct. It's a remake of the Game Boy Color game.
Yep, it's the remake of the Game Boy Color version, but for 3DS, I don't know if that will ever come to Switch.
No, it's not the 3DS version. It's more like a 16-bit styled remake of the Game Boy Color game.
It's literally about it's just a ROM of the original Game Boy Color version you're just selling on a Switch. I'd be mad if that gets released in Europe and everywhere in the world, but they won't give us the real ones in Europe, the remakes, but they give us that junk.
But this could mean that this will be our chance to at least tell Square Enix we want more Dragon Quest Monsters.
Why bother with that remake in the first place? They could have just thrown the 3DS version on the Switch.
But here's the thing. You don't know or remember, Gary. It's all about marketing and knowing what people want when they need feedback.
People would rather have the 3D remake than just literally the original.
But here's the part that you don't get, Gary. There's feedback, but Square Enix is a Japanese company. Japan has this thing, like, around the world, they only pay attention to what's happening in their own country.
Who in Japan's going to want a remake of the original, ROM of the original when they had a much vastly superior remake of it, though? Think about it.
I have a theory as to why all these companies are releasing their Game Boy games or Super Nintendo games or whatever on modern systems. Welcome, your mum. My theory is that they're doing it so that they can say ROM site's bad. Hear me out. Nobody's been doing it until recently. That's after Nintendo attacked Cool ROMs or whatever it was, right? I think that these companies are now saying to these to the third parties, you've got games that people are downloading online, so just re-release them on a system, so that way you can claim that they are stealing sales from you. It sounds cynical, but I 100% believe it.
I mean, I still don't understand the point of the Monster Hunter 1 remake on the Switch and an Android. It's like going, you know, you can easily play Monster Hunter 1 on an Android for years. You have this thing called an emulator. Just saying.
Well, if it was a remake, it would be good because that would mean
remake this new Monster Hunter. They're literally just bringing the PS1 version out just for new features, so you can get around the CD thing.
Well, think of it in this perspective. It could introduce Monster Rancher as a franchise to newcomers and to casuals and to everybody who's never heard of the series, which I find.
And it would also be nostalgic for the people who only ever played the first one, like I did.
Well,
even though the first one's the worst game in the series.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it probably is. But it's also probably the most nostalgic.
there's literally no reason why you'd want to re-release the first game when the second game was a million times better and played the same. It was on the same system as well. So.
You say about that, but in the but actually in the UK, Monster Rancher 1 is actually
it is.
Rancher 2.
And so if they ever do release this in the UK, people can get confused and play going, this isn't the Monster Rancher game I played. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Maybe because of the TV show. Though, amusing enough, the TV show's mostly based off Monster Rancher 2.
Yeah. The Monster Rancher anime.
Follows you around in the show. It's from Monster Rancher 1. The character who follows you around in 2 is only one episode. I don't know, I always find that a bit weird.
Also, most Japanese companies do this. If one game they make sell in any region does good, and they have a plan to at least release some others in the series, then they would actually do it and execute a plan to at least more.
That's me re-releasing Pokemon Blue, Red, and Yellow are a waste of time when they've got vastly stupid when they should have just released GBA.
Again, so Nintendo can then say that every Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow ROM downloaded online is a lost sale. That is my theory.
Well, that too.
And it makes so much sense. Because that's the only reason why they would re-release the original Pokemon games on the 3DS eShop, is to be able to say people who download the games off ROM sites are stealing 3DS game sales from us. They can call it a 3DS game as opposed to a Game Boy game, so it sounds worse. They can also then say that any instance of a Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow ROM, they can say that is a 3DS game download to bolster up the figures, so then they could go after any old ROM site saying that they carry 3DS games. I think my theory is solid.
How most ROMs are those you find no hacks though, that people have made entirely new separate games though, so...
The idea that Nintendo would ever differentiate between a hack and a regular version is silly. They consider ROM hacks just lost sales again.
I'm the person who just buys the original copies instead of buying them on the eShop,
because do that. There's no stopping
because for me, I don't see the point of having it on my 3DS because I take all my copies of Pokemon with me anyway, so I feel it's a waste of space on my 3DS when I could buy, I don't know, say like the Donkey Kong Country game. I feel are much better suited for me playing on the go because I like my platforming games. And yes, I do like my RPGs on the go as well, like Fire Emblem Advance Wars, but I've got them on my Game Boy Advance.
But
the problem is re-releasing an old game is, if you're going to re-release it these days, you've got to put some extras in it. Just releasing the same old crap as you got 20 years ago is not good enough.
But there is an extra to there is extras to the Pokemon Game Boy original Game Boy Color games released for the 3DS, and that's that you can connect wirelessly to somebody next to you with the same copy and trade Pokemon.
That's because of the modern technology and the had to put it, otherwise the games wouldn't work correctly.
You can trade Pokemon with someone next to you with the same copy, and even let it work with Pokemon Home, which, yes, it does work with Pokemon Home.
That didn't exist back then, so they had to reprogram the game slightly for that kind of thing. But the thing is, though, with most games, they're not different than the versions you bought years ago.
Yeah.
And when it comes to game collections, they've actually been getting worse over the years with less and less games. Like the Mega Drive collection on the Switch, the current Sega Mega Drive collection has less games on it than the previous generation's one, which also had some Master System and arcade games on it. Why aren't they in the next one?
So they can sell them to you later.
Yeah, but are they gonna do that? Because I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either, but
that's the thing,
they could.
They say that, but I don't think they are gonna do that.
I mean, at least with the Sega Ages, I like how they do them because they get M2 to pretty much just reprogram, get better. Or in the case of Fantasy Zone 2, they remade it completely with the Sega 16 arcade hardware in mind instead of the Master System hardware in mind.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about the Sega Ages ones are not just direct remakes, have new features in them that are not in the original versions, and that's what all these remakes, all these old games should have. It's like I love this game, the arcade game called Nitro Ball. They released it on Switch. There's no alterations to it whatsoever. It's like, this is a game that's like cross between Smash TV, Mercs or Commando 1, and a pinball game. There's no online scoreboard system. Perfect game made for such a thing, and they didn't do anything. They just shoved a ROM and sold it on a single 20 years after the game came out.
I also commend Sega for finally giving us confirmation that the Puyo Puyo World ROM, the arcade ROM,
was fully genuine.
Official, yes. So Savannah, Dragon, and Dark Prince, which kind of the fact they've been using Dark Prince in the UK since Puyo Pop on the GBA kind of also kind of says that yes, it's real, and all that luscious English voice acting, and Max never forget Max Minotaur.
Max Minotaur.
Also,
That's the thing about arcade. There's lots of weird arcade versions. You have weird like English versions of games that never leave Japan. It's like there's an English version of Sexy Proteus for arcades. I mean, I doubt that ever left Japanese arcades, but it's a completely translated.
It might have made it to Chinese, to places like Hong Kong or Singapore.
This version's completely translated to English. Some of the like signs have been turned into English.
I mean, there are English countries that exist that aren't just Europe and America. There's also Canada and Singapore and China.
I think when you boot the game, it's also only to be sold
yes,
in
that's
Japan, even though it's in English. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. I think sometimes they do an English translation or something, and then they just never do anything with it.
That was
I'm pretty sure one of them mentioned that.
To answer
one of
it-
the most strange ones out there when it comes to this game. Because
If I am, sorry.
there was this Digimon game on the Vita, and technically it has an English translation, but it was never released anywhere. And we only know about this English translation because on the Chinese version of the game, the entire English script is on. The entire English version is included on the cartridge, but inaccessible without modding the system. But they never released the English version of this game outside on the Vita. It was just a PS4 only game. People thought the reason why is just because for some reason Namco Bandai had translated the game into English, then into Chinese, but they left the English translation in the Chinese version.
to translate it into Chinese, they translated it to English so it would be easier to translate. Wow.
If that's the case, then why not just sell? In that case, then what was stopping them selling the Vita version in when pretty much done? You just have to throw it up on the shop.
It's alright,
Online
Vita emulation is coming along nicely, right? So
I have no clue, but I just find that kind of weird that they had a completely English translated version for the Vita, but they never even want to sell it.
I'll just download it and emulate it then. If Bandai Namco doesn't want to sell it to me, I'll just download it.
Well, people said the
emulate
PS4 version had some improvements of the same game, but at the same time, I think it was designed for the Vita, so just a weird case there. There were another one, I think Advance Wars Days of Ruins like that as well. I think the European
Dark Conflict
has the Japanese script in it, but Japan never got that game.
No, actually, no, you're wrong. They actually did get it
Yeah, they did,
years
yeah,
later as a
eShop,
Club Nintendo. As a Club Nintendo exclusive.
They did get it, but it was incredibly difficult to find over there, and it pretty much was a download only.
Because
Even
it was
though
through
it's a Japanese game.
it was through Club Nintendo, that's why. But also I was going to say about arcade games. I know for a fact, because it's been counted on multiple times, is that the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog in its original Japanese form showed up at Sega World London, and people played it and remember playing it. But obviously, like the game, well, I mean, there's not much. There's not much to it in terms of like dialogue. It's like they didn't. Nobody remembers any English voices or even text for it. So, and there's also people found data, but where they're going to change the sprites of Robotnik to the Sonic Sat-EM design.
Yes, I think there's one sprite.
TV show version.
I think there's one sprite of him in the
And
TV
the TV
show.
show version that wasn't in any other Sonic game. Very odd thing that. But that's not even that weird because this is something actually I do remember. I was in Morecambe once, this is a UK seaside resort it must have been in the early 90s or something, and I remember seeing an arcade machine for a game called Parasol Stars.
Oh yeah.
Now, Parasol Stars was a sequel to technically it wasn't a sequel to Bubble Bobble, it was a sequel to Rainbow Islands.
Yeah.
Played by like Bubble Bobble. Now, here's the thing about that game. Apparently, it doesn't have an arcade version, but I've seen an arcade version of it, and other people who've been to Morecambe once saw an arcade version of this game. When it gets weird is, people think this arcade version is not an arcade version. They got a PC engine, and they just put the PC engine version in a machine. And stuck it in an arcade.
It's entirely possible. My immediate thought was...
The bizarre is, it's a Japanese developed game. Why would they be testing it in the UK?
Maybe they were going to try and give it an English localization. That would be a reason why they want.
The game Bobo was barely text in it, so it wouldn't be. And the game was released on the PC Engine anyway, worldwide. Technically not in Europe, because we never officially got it, but it was. So it's an arcade game that was only made for consoles, but probably had an arcade version that was literally just a console version.
So how do we go from talking about Dragon Quest Monsters to whatever this is we're talking about?
I have no idea.
It's just an odd thing, and no one's actually sure if Parasol Stars existed for an arcade or not, and it was just a console. I mean, it won't be the first time we've basically got a game that literally is a console game with an arcade machine. I mean, Sega and Nintendo did.
Well, yeah, the Megatech. That's where I was thinking, like, is it like the Megatech? Was this Parasol Stars just like the Nintendo Play Choice or something like that?
Yeah, that's for
maybe
Nintendo.
It could have been, but I don't think there was like a Megatech version of a PC Engine like ever. So why would they test a console game in an arcade environment? It's a bit an odd thing to do, but
Maybe, I don't know, maybe trying to get the word out, but like slowly slowly putting them into arcades around the UK, like to get
I can
noticed.
sort of see a bizarre reason why they would test it in the UK, because in the UK, Bubble Bobble and Rainbow Island in the 80s was huge games, but you never hear Americans talk about them, but people in Europe really remember these games because of like the European computer versions of them. Though they would have never been released in Japan because there was for European computers either, so maybe that's why they were testing it in the UK and not Japan, but still kind of odd.
So there's going to be a new Way of the Samurai spin-off action RPG coming soon.
Ooh, a new Way of the Samurai.
Yeah. It's a spin-off, though, coming to
Is it
PS4,
still
Xbox
Ghostlight?
One, Steam. Ghostlight? I'm not so sure. But it's just called Katana Kami. It's a spin-off of Way of the Samurai for PC, PS4, and Switch.
Katana Kame. Kame is in, like
No,
God,
Kami.
like spirit.
No, Kami. But, I'd say sort of. Katana Kami, I'd say it would kind
how
of
is it
say
spelled?
Sword Spirit. I mean, maybe. Sounds like it.
How is it
I would
spelled?
say
Kame.
Katana, then Kami. K. It does. Yeah.
If it's Kame, then it'd be Kame, and it would be like God, spirit.
Oh, wait, no, my bad. It's M-I.
Mi.
Yeah, M-I.
Interesting. Wait, no, Kami would be spirit. Kame would be turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like sword spirit, sword god. Ooh,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
actually
interesting.
an
Do we
interesting
know
title.
anything else besides the title?
It's an action RPG, and it's a spin-off. That's about all I can say.
Oh,
And
so it
it's-
could be all mystical and shit.
And it's published by Spike Chunsoft, or developed by Spike Chunsoft, I think is what it is.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll get a PC version courtesy of Ghostlight. Like we did with
here it is. It's
3 and 4.
published by Spike. Oh, it's published by Spike Chunsoft and developed by Acquire.
Ah, right. So Acquire. So it's the same devs.
Yeah.
It's being published by Spike Chunsoft. I wonder if we're going to get a PC version.
Did Ghostlight even make games anymore?
No, they port, but they do a good job with porting. Where the Samurai 3 and 4 are good ports. Where the Samurai 4 wasn't a good port to begin with.
Weird Shin Megami Tensei company over here, because quite a lot of them games are that series, especially all the PS2 ones, nearly all of them was by them in Europe, apart from Sony. And I think Ryu Cousin, whatever that one's called. The
only thing I recognize Ghostlight for is them publishing the Gears War series on Steam.
Ghostlight seems to publish a lot of Japanese games. I mean, SMT3 were by them. The Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2 were by them. Persona 1 wasn't, because I think Persona 3 was Koei.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
And Fez and 4 was Square Enix.
For Europe.
Yeah. Only on PS4, but only the PS2 version, no.
But isn't 5 published by Deep Silver in Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 was Square Enix as well, I think.
It was announced on It was announced.
I think Nisa was 4 on Vita.
Oh, Golden was NIS America.
It was actually confirmed on Deep Silver's Twitter that they're now the new European branch for the Persona series.
Oh no, don't tell me that. They'll release it Epic Store exclusive on PC.
No, you're thinking PC though. This is a console series, don't worry.
Oh, they'll find a way.
Yeah.
I'll find a way.
They'll find a way.
I'll make
I said
cooperate.
Europe though. This is for Europe though. They said they're a new subsidiary to publish the games in Europe as well.
Well, the first worst Atlas game they released in Europe. They released Catherine, if that counts.
Yeah, they did. Deep Silver released
version, not whatever. I don't know about the re-release, remade version, or whatever that's about.
Oh,
full body edition, but it's.
I always thought it was a bit bizarre they released the original version of that on PC, and we might as well just wait until the full body version.
Thing is, the re-release of the original one was published by Sega, and that was for the PC because it's for the PC gamers that didn't get to experience Catherine, and now they're thinking, oh, this full body
PC
is good.
Wait until full body and release the full body version.
The PC port of Catherine was made using fan-made tools. And the documentation for those tools is still in the game data. Fun fact.
Well,
so it wasn't even the publisher's fucking work.
So it's like that over-expensive arcade stick Capcom made that has Alien vs Predator on it, where someone realised, oh, it's just got an emulator built into it.
Yeah.
What emulator was it? I think it was like FG Turbo, a really popular arcade emulator, and it's so basic programmed into this arcade stick. It's like, the people going, oh, we finally get to play Alien vs Predator. It's like,
yeah, or you can play it on fucking Final Burn Alpha right now. Or MAME.
Yeah.
Does the Capcom beat 'em up collection have Alien vs Predator though?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Damn.
No, it doesn't.
Aliens vs Predator is only available on the shitty fighting stick.
Or you can just emulate the thing like everyone else in the world's been doing for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Just because they've been tired of waiting for a real version.
Yeah, the correct way to play.
Yeah,
and if it does get released, you just end up like Simpsons Arcade, where in about 2 years' time we won't be able to play it anymore, and then everyone will complaining, going, this game's impossible to play now. Yeah, because it'll be unlisted again.
For me, if I want to play the Simpsons arcade game, I can go down to my local Super Barrio. It's like a bar and arcade in Glasgow, and they've got the original arcade version of the Simpsons arcade game in it.
Nice.
And it's really
oh cool.
I think me and my pal, the fun we got was
it's like all the silly people in the world who all the silly YouTubers will think they've got the rarest machine in the world because it has Scott Pilgrim versus the World on it. Like, oh no, we've got Scott Pilgrim,
yes, it's
one of the very first games of that generation to get emulated, and you're so worried, you're so proud of owning a real cartridge on a hard drive somewhere. I mean, the game's not a lost game. You can easily play Scott Pilgrim versus the World. There's actual real lost games. That game will never be one of them. Just saying.
Yeah, like how until 2015 people thought, oh, I can't play the game. SpongeBob SquarePants saves the Krusty Krab, and then somebody found a trial version of it, and then somebody else hacked it so that you can play it without it being locked.
I mean, you want real lost games. What about those things like Sky Interactive games that you get to play now? And they're lost games because there's literally no way you can play them anymore.
The Looney Tunes Back in Action game I used to play for 8.
There's literally no way you can actually play those games anymore whatsoever.
I think, unfortunately, it was like, does anybody remember the TV every kid? They used to have like the Mystery Hunters like games on like.
I mean, you can't even find video footage of a lot of these games because most people didn't record video footage of it, so there's completely gone. There was actually a version of Blue Bubble made for that, but I cannot find video footage of it anywhere. And Wikipedia didn't mention it, so Wikipedia doesn't even think this version exists.
Of course.
Because I never bothered with it, because I never spent money on those kind of games.
I always played the free ones, and then if they said, "Oh, your trial's up,"
I remember the Ben's 10 one where you would just bend running forwards and jumping a bunch of platforms trying to chase them, and then you just go the opposite direction. The game that reskinned a million times.
Yes, I remember playing that one. It was fun until it said your trial, like pay to play more.
Yeah, I never. I remember when we had NTL4, we had Sky, and that's where it get funny. The darts one, that play jam used to have on NTL used to be free. Then when they come on Sky, they'll charge you money to play the same thing. Yeah, no, I'm paid money for it when it used to be free.
Oh, hey guys, guess what?
What? What's up?
There's now an anime announced for Shin Sakura Tyson.
Yes, you posted something along the lines of that in the Discord today.
No, that was the intro for the game. There's now an anime announced for Shin Sakura Tyson.
I was under the impression that there was an anime announced. I was under the impression that you had posted about it. Am I wrong?
Yes,
No, wait.
put up in the Discord about.
Oh, was it you, Papes?
It being announced.
Yeah, Paper posted that. I was posting the video based on the intro for the game. Sega posted. What he posted was different.
Because I really liked the Sakura Wars anime. I thought that was done pretty well, and then again, I really want to play the first game, but just the language barriers too much for me, which is a shame because from what I've played. Well, besides the fact that I had to look up what to do in the second fight. Because it was not clear at all. I thought, oh, this enemy showed up.
Well, at least the game's confirmed for Western release, so now we finally get.
Has it been actually confirmed?
Well, the Shin Sakura Tyson, the game has been confirmed for Western release. I just don't know if it's going to be the second Sakura Tyson game that we have gotten since we got so long. My love for the Wii and PS2, which is the only one.
And
I don't know why it wasn't good enough for PS2 in Europe, but...
If I remember correctly, the PS version just had the Japanese dialogue and the Japanese voices, whilst the Wii only had the English version, which changed some names, like just like slight kind of.
That reminds me of what was it? That game? The game on 3DS like that. What do you call 99 Doors or something like that?
9 hours, 9 doors, 9 persons. The best person to ask about that would be your mum.
Yeah.
don't know anything about the game, but for
Yeah.
some reason this European version is Zero Escape game. There was no English voice acting in it, but it was in the US version. It's like, what's that about?
Was that Virtue?
I think it was, yeah. But there was no
it
English
was-
voice acting in the European version, but it was in the US
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, I know because I played the demo of that and it was fun, but I thought it was voices.
I remember one of the music tracks in Guitar Room and the European version was still sung in Japanese, but it was English in the demo, so it's confused. But then they fixed it.
It's English on the game disc. Was it Japanese in the demo?
Somewhere around.
Yeah, I think it was Japanese in the demo, and then it was English in the game.
If I am right in this, the version of Ape Escape in America, there is a glitch in it that they didn't over-program the Jap voices. So if your disc is scratched in a certain area, the game will default to the Japanese version. You'll get all the Japanese.
I'll never understand with that series why Sony decided to retranslate the entire thing and get everything with British accents. It's like, what's the point in doing that?
I think the English, the UK English voices suit the game much better than the American one, but that's just my personal.
I agree.
But why did they do 2 dubs in the first place? That's a silly thing Nintendo would do, because Nintendo was stupid like that. And like wasting money on pointless things like that.
Yeah, or Nintendo realizes that Fire Emblem, the Binding Blade, is never going to get translated, so they just cut it. The epilogue, the links to that in the UK version, whilst in the American version they had it intact.
I can think of another game I did that with, the last DS Professor Layton game. There was an entire mode in it called London Life, and it was entirely cut from all European copies. Nintendo's reasoning was, well, we've got to sell it at Christmas, and we didn't have enough time to translate, so we just removed it from the game entirely.
That sounds like what happened with Persona. There's like a bit where the game into two, you can go in either 2 routes, but in the American version there's only 1 route because they didn't bother translating the second, except for maybe like a
strange thing
couple.
about the old London Life though is in the US version, so an English translated version of it existed. Just because the company bothered translating to different European languages, all Europe missed out on it. Despite
Well, that's why we missed out on the original Katamari Damacy, because We Love Katamari was being translated, and they couldn't be bothered to translate all those items descriptions into European languages.
And then they just cancelled it for some reason. I'll never understand Japanese companies when they do stuff like that. Then they give one region a really weird game, which is instead. Sees Capcom did that as well sometimes. It's like, why would they know US version, European version? They use the same dubcast as a TV show. It even advertises a TV show on the back, even though the TV show was never released, I believe, in Europe.
So yeah, there's for Fire Emblem Fates, for one thing, they took out the whole swapping thing from the Japanese version and English versions, which I understand, but at the same time, I wish it kind of was in there just because it's like the whole game. And then the game came out in 2015 in Japan, then about February in America for Fates, and then it wasn't until like May we got it. It felt like for.
Sounds like the typical Nintendo. I don't know why with Nintendo. I don't know. They aren't really doing it with the Switch as much, but they always seem to delay stuff just for Europe for no reason. It's like Yoshi Woolly World on the Wii U came out months in Europe for America. It's like, why couldn't you release it at the same time? They're sort of again selling something somewhere in America.
Oh, it's like how Pokemon X and Y got a worldwide release. Then when it comes to Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, we have to get it later for some strange reason. The same with Sun and Moon.
I can explain why that happened, and it's so stupid. Because a European person got hold of X and Y early, and this person was slowly playing the game, taking screenshots. The guy was also an idiot and constantly having cigarette breaks and was terrible at the game until he got caught. And because of that, for the next 2 games, Nintendo said, "Oh, we're gonna release them. We're gonna push them back an all-out week in Europe just to punish all European players just because this one person showed pictures early."
I could imagine Nintendo being that petty.
It's literally so that's the only reason why I'm delayed. It's not because of any production thing. It's just them being petty.
I'm not good much because the game in my hometown, they get on the Tuesday, which is like about 3 days before the game came out. They let us play about an hour and a half of the game, and most of us got through the first gym by that point. So we got like to kind of like a lot of the huge story beats, and then we got it the midnight, like the day before as well. I didn't get it because I thought it was a midnight release as they advertised online. So some people got it a day before it was supposed to release in the UK.
I just remember them using disaster when it comes to Pokemon Sun, because Sun decided to do a worldwide release date for it, didn't they? They wanted to release it on a Saturday everywhere. And what did Game UK do? They sold most copies on a Friday because that's normal day. So anyone who pre-ordered the game to get the Pokeball thing got screwed out of the pre-order bonus because they were giving it to random people. Because Japan wanted to sell it on a Saturday for some stupid reason, because they do that with Dragon Quest games over there.
Yeah, I didn't actually get Sun and Moon when they came out. I was a poor student at that point, so I couldn't get them. It wasn't until like the Christmas time where I had to try and... I was originally going to go for Sun. Sun was the most popular version, so I couldn't get it at all, and the only way to get it was if I wanted to get it up by £50. I was prepared to do that. I went into the game in my local town. They had it for 45. I had credit on my game card, so I got it for 35 price. I was a bit miffed at that because I really wanted Sun because it's so low, but I settled for Moon with Lunala. But I still like Lunala.
Speaking of weird ones, what about that game at Sightbots? That were an odd one, wasn't it? I mean, it was a game only released in... Technically, the game was released in America and Japan, but it was only a Nintendo Shock Reward in Japan. They never released in Europe whatsoever.
That is pretty odd.
Yeah, Excitebots was only an award game in Japan. The entire game, and it was not a demo of the game. It was a full price game in America. They never released it in Europe. Who knows why? They released Excite Truck, the game before it in Europe, so, you know, as for me, I think they'd have been better for bringing that, starting with a robot instead of cars and being generic, but maybe. I don't think they thought that one through very well. I mean, Excite Truck's not a very interesting name for a game, is it, to be honest? Is it wonder why no one really rushing out shelves to buy a game with that title?
I'd rather play Excite Bike 64 personally.
I don't know, it's weird. I mean, Nintendo at the time were really weird like that. There's some games in some regions, not other regions. I mean, there's a few like the games that were just only released in Australia. The Starfy game on the DS was only released in Australia and European territories. And I think another reason why the game had cutscenes to texting, and probably Nintendo couldn't bother to translate it into multiple languages, so just skipped Europe altogether for it. What confused me at that game is the way this was the 5th game in that series for it to leave Japan. You know, as in the 3rd game, Wario. They've got Mario characters in the series and never even bothered to release it outside Japan. Just think about that.
And he used all of his Wario Land 4 sprites, if I remember correctly, in that game. Starfy no Dense. Or the legendary Starfy.
I've had his DS game only came outside Japan because it was in Smash Bros. English, because that seems to happen with most Japanese-only characters. They end up getting a game somehow. Apart from Barbara the Bat, she didn't. She got screwed out of her own game, so never released in America at all.
We got them in the UK though. Jam with the Band at least.
Yeah, and that game like really sold stupid cheap in Europe. I mean, I don't know if it does anymore, but it was a really cheap game.
I'm a proud owner of the Japanese version of that game. And the expansion pack that goes in the GBA port.
And it had a 3D pan, but obviously that was Japanese only, so... Actually, the only weirdly game I think of on the 3DS by Nintendo, and this is one I'll never understand, is the brain training game, the 3DS. It was advertised in your like booklets in Nintendo products like 2 years before it got released in Europe. It was rated all that time. They just took like 2.5 years to release this game in Europe for some reason. Don't know why.
I mean, I'm still pretty sad that we never got Silhouette Mirage because Working Designs had to translate it, and that meant we were never going to get it besides maybe one game.
Despite Working Designs, Europe had no chance of ever getting anything by them. The only thing we ever got by them were a lot, and that was only because Sony published it.
Yeah, I think we got the translations
I don't know
for...
if the European version had the same translation as the American version, mind you, but that's the only reason we got the game is because it had Sony's name on it. So.
Oh, hey guys, there's now a debut trailer for the modern re-release of Monster Hunter 1. If you guys want to check it out, I'm gonna post it in promotion.
I'll check it later.
We'll see if it really is just a ROM in an emulator.
It's just weird, and it's. Yeah, the problem with Silhouette Mirage is Working Designs, like a lot of their games, ruined it because they made it 10 times more difficult. I don't know why they kept doing that with their game.
Yeah, it's they literally went into the code and made it harder. Like
why? Why would you do that?
Specifically,
you wanted the game in English. You didn't want them to ruin the game.
Specifically for Silhouette Mirage, your soul meter, which is pretty much just a second health bar, drains every single time you use a weapon, and that was in the Japanese version. That doesn't happen at all. But to compensate, they also made it so that the enemies drop the soul meter, like so that you can get it back. But it kind of goes against what it was originally meant to be.
Now we pretty much have to wait until someone basically gets the Japanese version, basically just redubs the English version back into it, so we've got a version we should have got to begin with.
Because I mean, I'll give Working Designs this for Silhouette Mirage specifically. The dub is done pretty well. Like the voices fit the characters, I think. Besides maybe Shina's, like the main character, Scream, that can get a little air grating, but besides that, the rest of them are quite funny.
It's a shame it's one of those ruined games because they intentionally botched the difficulty up on purpose.
Yeah.
This Streets of Rage 3 all over again.
So then again, there's also Dynamite Headache, which is harder in the UK and America because they took away the 3 continues you get in the beginning.
There's other differences between that. The Japanese, for some bizarre reason, they also changed some of the sprites with no logic.
Yeah, well, the ones they changed were really, really obviously Japanese, so obviously they didn't want to.
Except one's a doll, which is turning a robot of a castle to.
Yeah, and the Zayui, became the gatekeeper and the nasty gatekeeper. Because it was Yayoi, the good one, the good geisha, and then the Zayui, the evil geisha, when you found out how
I don't understand what was the obsession in the 90s, removing things Japanese from games. And most people, even at the time, knew most games were Japanese. So what was the point in hiding it?
I don't know.
I mean, think about it this way. Nearly all the most popular games in the 16-bit era, they're all Japanese. Very few European ones or American-developed games, is there?
Are you talking about the way... Are you talking about the way how America does it, or Europe?
No, Europe did it. The thing is, what got weird is Europe used high games with Japanese. Well, the difference is, well, American is used to change the box art to look American. Europeans just went, "I will just leave the Japanese box art the exact same."
Yeah.
Americans would go out of the way to hide the fact the game was Japanese. I don't know why they always did.
Like,
Well, I'll tell you. Actually, it's because back during a simple time in the 80s and 90s, we were not too accustomed with something that would make us think that this game was for at least adults or teenagers when it looked like cartoony with this anime style. If it had a cartoony looking
Total audience in 16-bit was kids, so that doesn't really work as an excuse either.
But there was more than that, actually. I mean, let's take Kirby, for instance. That was for kids, obviously, but for us Americans, I think Censored Gaming covered this, where he was meant to be advertised as tough just to advertise to a Western audience.
Thing make everything tough. I mean, here we had all people pulling faces like Sonic, but we didn't go out of the way to alter the entire game.
Well, Sonic's weird in the UK because the first box art was like a mix, is a kind of hybrid of our own design, of our own idea, and the Japanese, like, as in, like, they used a lot of the Japanese artwork for it, obviously, like Robotnik and all the friend, like Sonic's animal buddies in the background, but used like the Japanese box art version of Sonic. But when it came to Sonic 2 and Sonic Spinball and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, we got all the American artwork with the Americanized Sonic, which is like obviously the angry with attitude one. But then when it comes to Sonic 3, we got our own artwork for it, and then Sonic and Knuckles, it was just the same from in it all weeks. And Sonic 3D, we got our own version, superior to the American version, I'm just going to say now.
Well, also I forgot to mention that during the 80s and 90s, whenever, like, this was at the time, whenever any adult at the time would see a box art that looks like it's a cartoon or kitty looking with at least a cartoon looking character, they automatically assume it's for kids, but that was...
Did you see box art for games in the 80s for European computers? There were loads of weird cartoon characters on the covers, even the games...
But that was for European games. I'm talking about Japanese games.
Europe was not fussy about box art. Some games have horrendous covers in Europe and sold very well.
That's for Europe, though. Some of for us Americans, exactly, though, specifically.
It was a thing for some reason. Americans to hide the fact. I can't remember the name, but there's this PC Engine game, this mecha game, it's a really stupid name. And they always found it funny that they made the cover 50 times worse for the American one. When all the American covers, it's a picture of a robot, but they redo it to a different picture of the exact same robot. But somehow managed to not draw its face on.
It's like
why not just use a Japanese cover? You just basically do a new piece of artwork for the same character that looks exactly the same.
It's a bit like if you look at some artwork that they made for the Namco made for the game Burning Force, I think it was called, the one where you're on the speed bike. Like they had this one that was obviously had the anime look of it, and it's like the European version kept this one. However, America, they redrew it completely and they had to Americanize it. But yet
that was so common. A game would have a different cover in Europe and Japan, but Americans would have a different cover or a different name than anywhere else in the rest of the world.
I think
it's so common. I don't know why.
I mean, even like a game that I like, Talmud's Adventure, Marvel Land for you, by the way, and not you, the.
Well, they call Marvel Land in arcades anyway, I think. I don't know why the version's called Talmud's Adventure.
I don't know. I just it's what I've got in my game, so that's what I refer to it as. But that one, it's like the artwork's almost the same, but they've just kind of done it in a kind of obviously an American comic style instead of like the Japanese anime one. And I think they've just kind of removed the background instead of having like the park itself for Marvel Land. They've got them on one of the
You want a game that's really weird with that? What's the game Arrow Flash? I mean,
yes.
It's got a different colour in every region, but it looks Japanese in all three.
Yes. I was just about to bring that up as well. But yes, Arrow Flash.
Why did they go? One that makes me really embarrassing. PC Engine cover of Fantasy Zone. Oh, Propo's got a person inside it. I mean, did you play the game?
Yes, and another Mega Drive game that I want to bring up, Gynook or Wings of War. It's like he's clearly using magic in the game, but they changed it. The American version changed it so that he's using a gun, like a real life gun against the first boss.
The American cover, the person who also did the Golden Axe covers and the Echo the Dolphin cover, I think called Boris Vigilo,
Yeah.
Something like that did it. The thing I don't understand is why did they change? The original cover was the Japanese cover. Oh yeah, the person who designed that Gynook cover was also the person who made the Choaniki games.
Yes.
And designed lots of the character designs for Resident Evil, Zero, Code Veronica.
I was gonna say about oh god, it was one of the games that I mentioned there. It's just not Johnny. Oh god. Oh, my mind's having a...
Oh, speaking of Resident Evil, this new Project Resistance game that was shown off at Tokyo Game Show, people, the non-Japanese speakers, were skeptical if it was Resident Evil Outbreak 3, which I was hoping it was, but it's actually a asymmetrical 4 versus 1 multiplayer game where there's survivors versus Mr. X.
Oh, fuck off!
Which be dead in 5 minutes. Again, this is the 3rd time we've done this.
Literally,
everyone. Make a HD version of Gregory Horror Show over that. It'd probably do better than that game.
Everyone saw Predators at the State of Play this year, like one of the Sony State of Plays. It's like nobody wants this. Nobody wants a fucking 4v1.
Well, that's the things that Dead by Daylight.
No, it's
Stop trying to be Evolve.
Evolve. Oh, I think.
The game is completely tanked.
Wait, didn't Dead by Daylight come first before Evolve? No, I'm very sure it wasn't the other way around.
Evolve came first.
Oh right.
Evolve was like 2010.
No, 2010. The PS4 wasn't, I think.
1,000 Funko Pops of Evolve, and they can never sell any more. Still have some of them.
But anyways, in Project Resistance, you can actually play as Mr. X and set traps and be the headmaster.
Mr. X and set traps. Something about that doesn't make sense. Mr. X and punch the shit out of somebody. Yes.
Shoot anyone, play any of the game.
X gonna give it to you while setting up the traps.
But no, here's the thing. Go ahead.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you.
But no, here's
that joke.
But here's more of it. Like, if you guys seen the gameplay trailer and the gameplay footage revealed, like, there's more than just traps being set, like, through a monitor. Like, once the survivors reach the end of the door, like, you can come out as Mr. X and just punch them and just not die until, like,
games I do really wonder why they do get made. So I'm in a shop the other day, and there's a retail Angry Birds 2 game, but it's only for PSVR. Who is this aimed for? Because kids aren't going to be able to afford a VR set. So who is this going to be? Who is this marketed to?
Just casuals. I mean, casuals play Angry Birds as well. I mean, it could be anybody.
They're not going to be buying VR. It's more expensive than the console. They're not going to buy an add-on that's more expensive than the console to play an Angry Birds game.
Oh, speaking of VR, Space Channel 5 VR was shown in a little snippet teaser, and it looked okay. But at least she's back. You know.
Yeah, hopefully they'll use the assets to make a proper one.
Yeah, at least they'll make a well, maybe.
Games. They don't want VR spin-offs, they want real new ones.
But will we get the... sorry, I'm gonna say, but will we get the King of Pop in there like we did with the Space Channel 5, 1 and 2?
Maybe. Maybe,
yeah.
I don't think Jacko will be in it. Space Jacko.
Well, because Michael Jackson in Space Channel 5 Part 2 are the reason why the PS2 version never got released in the UK. That's like here somewhere.
That's entirely possible.
There was an ITV news report on Michael Jackson or something, and then some idiot at Sega decided to cancel the entire game in the UK even though it had a demo.
Well, I mean, if it was to do with allegations against them, then they were pretty much right.
Anyways, what I think will happen is Sega will release a VR version of Space Channel 5, a brand new game that just has the regular title Space Channel 5 VR, but has new characters in it, then release a new game with the same assets like ERB said, which might be their plan.
Well, Europe did get space from a 5-part 2 eventually, but that's that amusing if it's only because they wanted to put that in the Dreamcast collection over the first one, because the first one uses FMV backgrounds and a bit harder to make a HD version of.
You know, I called this tactic pulling a Gungrave, where they first make a new game that's just VR, but then make a full-on actual full game.
It was a great VR game. It was the most weirdest, randomest thing ever, that, wasn't it? Oh, it was Gungrave. Yeah, it was the VR game.
I'm just glad we're getting a real one now.
Yeah, I'm glad we're getting a real one, and that's why I said pulling.
What the point in making the VR one to begin with?
It was for it was for different audiences if they want to play VR.
I think a lot of developers that make VR games because VR is fun to develop for. It's new, it's fresh, it's interesting, and you could do a lot with it. I think once they realized, oh shit, VR ain't gonna sell, that's when they decided to make one for the main audience.
There is VR arcade games now, if you don't know.
How many Kinect games were they launched? Suddenly every company just gave up of it completely after about a year.
Well, besides WarioWare, who kept making games from the Kinect, but I remembered what I was going to about. When we're talking about box art, and you're saying about Golden Axe, the UK version, for some reason, strangely enough, has the Japanese box art as its box art, but the manual is the American box art for some reason. And I don't understand how they messed up with that.
I'm just thinking of another game that does that. The first PS2 Castlevania game. I know it's not called in Europe. It was just called Castlevania.
Yes.
Now the front of the box has the American box art. The back of the instruction manual. The front of the instruction manual is the English and Japanese box art, and the back of the instruction manual is the American box art. So why did they put this ugly CGI cover on the European one?
I don't know.
But anyways,
Also, the fact that it's called a Castlevania in LP, because technically in Europe that means it's like 4 games just called just Castlevania.
Yeah, because it's the one on the Game Boy Advance, which is a Circle of the Moon.
Yeah, that's just called Castlevania, but the instruction manual calls it Circle of the Moon on the instruction book case still.
How very odd.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I saw that the character from the PS2 Castlevania is in Smash Bros. Ultimate as a spirit.
Huh.
But what I mentioned earlier was that what Sega might do as a prediction is what Red Entertainment did with Gungrave, and I would just call it they Gungraved it. Just making a VR game first, and then make a full-on actual game later in the future is what Sega might do with Space Channel 5, but that's just my prediction. I don't know if they'll do it or not.
There are sometimes weird things to notice with box arts that confuse me. Like Godzilla Unleashed on the Wii has no screenshots on the back of the box. Why?
Or
weird that the game has no screenshots on the back of the box or any artwork. It's just text.
Or Mario 3 on the NES has beta footage from the game, and none of the levels that's on the back of the box show up in the game.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 manual on the Mega Drive has the prototype title screen in it.
I think
and Vector Man has a prototype level on the back box.
On the Wii have screenshots of the 360 versions on the back of the... A bit misleading advertising there, guys. Entirely different version of the game on the back of the box. But that was common in the early European days. They'd show one screenshot of the version. The cartridge would have like this version of 3 different consoles, but they only have screenshots of the best graphics.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they don't even do that.
The old PC games were like that.
The arcade game, which is all
yeah.
right.
Yes.
So like these images not representative of this version. It's like, well, why is it on the box then?
And then there's the NES version of Karate Champ, which is a screenshot of a guy fighting a bull on the back of the box. It's not even in the game.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the Game Gear version of Sonic 2, if you look at the Game Gear screen, like the one where you packed in Sonic 1, it's just got a screenshot of the Mega Drive version of Sonic 1, not the Game Gear version. Like, cause like the
I've
obviously.
seen this in advertisements sometimes, because the advertisement campaign the new generation you found in UK magazines must have been of an early build of the game, because there was a time limit and there was harpies on the first screen of the game. Well, not in the first screen of that game. Where did these screenshots come from?
Oh, and did any of you ever see the prototype artwork for Gunstar Heroes and how they were going to have it completely like realistic, kind of American realistic kind of
No,
comic?
I have not. That's interesting.
It's pretty cool because like they, instead of it being, you know, orange on the on his like in the box art we got how orange is on the helicopter that you fight him on. Instead, he's in Pinky Roder's machine. You know the.
Oh right, yeah, the one from the first
giant
level.
claw.
Yeah.
Yes, it's that instead, and it's like and all the soldiers are actually like Terminator bots.
Okay, I probably wouldn't have played it if it looked like that.
Yeah, and then obviously I think Sega got the idea maybe this is gonna sell, and they changed it to like kind of the pseudo anime kind of.
People hate the American part of that, saying it done for Japanese. At least the characters look like the characters like a lot of
Yeah.
that at the time. You can tell who they are.
Unlike what that original one was, because the reason why Blue is in the poses and on the box art is not because he's trying to do like the karate moves. It was because he was actually caught in one of the arms of the Pinky Roder machine, and that was why he was trying to actually get out of the machine in the proto box.
But it looks like he's being a kung fu master on the
But then
cover.
again, you can actually kick in the game, obviously, because we all know Gunstar plays like, because we've all played it and we all love it, I assume.
I would hope
But-
so.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the reason why it was like that, and it's like even in like some of like the promotional like pamphlets you would used to get in the Mega Drive game, you're like saying coming soon, they used that artwork. So like people were like so confused for years. It wasn't until like was it like the artwork of the Mega Drive box art, like the Sega Mega Drive artwork or whatever the book was called. They put a high quality version of it because obviously somebody found the original copy of it, and like it's something to behold. I'll just put it like that.
That reminds me of another thing, a weird thing. The guy who did the artwork for Golden Axe, the American Golden Axe one, did
Yeah.
the one for Golden Axe 3 as well. And Golden Axe 3 never got released outside Japan, but he did a version of it.
Oh, the guy
Amazing
who
enough,
did,
they never used that artwork in any re-releases of Golden Axe for America on either collections. So I always thought it was amusing because they actually fake that for Golden Axe 3 on some of the Sega collection. It's like, why?
and
Why
then
did they
there's
go out the way to do that?
and then there's the artist who did the Streets of the UK and the American Streets of Rage artwork, where the street they've got in the background for that is the exact same one he used for Final Fight 2 on the SNES.
Yeah,
That's it.
just reused
It's
his
almost
own
like
covers.
Weird, like slight trace of the exact same picture in it.
Which I find
dying a manhole in it.
I just find that funny because it's like a case of, oh, I need to make up a street for this Final Fight game. Oh, I've still got the Streets of Rage stuff for it. I'll just copy that. Nobody will notice.
You know,
Please let me copy your homework.
Yes.
But
You
it's
know,
his own
they,
work.
Loads of game bots that just literally copy people's artwork and just direct poses for things to begin with, so it's not that weird.
Yeah.
Were you
Some
saying
of them
hello?
use it. It's like there's a
No.
title of a game called Silent Dragon, and on the arcade poster.
no,
there's a
first
guy
I said
posing it.
but then I said hello, but now Gary's talking over me, which is
Hello.
making me impatient.
Sorry.
But yeah, this Japanese arcade game called Silent Dragon by Tails, the beat 'em game, and in the actual poster of it, there's two guys in two poses, and these two guys are just traced poses from Jackie Chan posters, two different Jackie Chan posters. But you know what gets weird?
Well, if you're gonna copy from someone, copy from the best.
Yes.
It gets funnier in that game because one of the bosses is Jaggy from Fist of the North Star. They didn't even hide the fact it's him either. He's in the exact same colour scheme. He has a character portrait picture that looks like him. It's not a Fist of the North Star game, so I don't know why he's there. He's there.
Or it's like a like the beta version of Alex Kidd in Shinobi World had the first boss as Mario.
Yeah, I'm assuming Sega said, yeah, you can't do that. You know, this is the same thing that just threw jobs from Batman in the game and just...
And the same Sega that let the Sonic the Comic have the Marxio brothers, which are electricians, and there's 3 of them instead of 2. Like
I think that would be classed as a parody though somehow.
Yes.
I think you'd be like, get away with that one somehow.
Yeah, it's a bit harder to say that Spider-Man in Revenge of Shinobi is a parody.
Well, I think, was it Sega already had the license from Spider-Man at that point, so that it was okay for them to...
Didn't explain why you were a boss though, when you think of it that way. It's a bit weird that there's a random game with Spider-Man's villain in it.
And then turns into Batman, and then he got changed to the guy from Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, he just turns like Devilman instead because, you know what's funny? This thing about it is when they made that PS2 version of Space Harrier, they had a new boss in the game and it looks like Devilman Lady. So it's like the only time I put a Devilman character in, just randomly stuck Devilman in a Devilman Lady is essentially in the same character, similar idea.
Yeah.
And I call it Devilman Lady because that's what the Japanese actually call it, Devilman Lady. Because when they made the anime of it, they just renamed it Devil Lady because, you know, Devilman Lady sounds stupid.
Yeah.
But I don't think the manga actually even followed. I think the manga is entirely separate thing to the anime that thing. So, yeah.
You know, so anyways, I do like Gunstar Heroes, but I don't think it's the best or the greatest game. In my opinion, I just think it's at least good, but not the best compared to what everybody else says about it. It's one of those games I see and think about what everyone says about it. I'm like, well, people say it's great, but I don't see what's great about it.
Get out! Get out right now!
How can you not like Gunstar Heroes?
Look,
that's alright, some people have weird tastes. He likes...
Look.
Yes!
He likes fucking Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Look, you guys are misunderstanding me. I don't hate or dislike Gunstar Heroes. I said I like it. I just don't understand what makes it great or amazing, or what makes you guys think it's the greatest, really, which I can see why there's fans of it.
How nuts the game was for the time it was released.
Yeah. And it's like my favourite kind of run and gun on Mega Drive in honesty. And it's the same with how Dynamite Head is my favourite platform on the Mega Drive. I'm sorry, but for me, Treasure just blew everything out the water on the Mega Drive.
Right, and there's a lot of other run and gun games I'm a fan of, such as Metal Slug and Contra.
Heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Metal Slug better, and I'm a fan of that series. And there's others that Treasure has made that I love a lot, such as I don't know, Mischief Makers, which I'm a fan of as well.
Mischief Makers is really good.
Yeah,
but it's not as good. It's not as good as Gunstar Heroes. In my opinion.
You say that, but I keep wondering, like, what's good about it? What makes it the best ever? I like it, but I don't see what's amazing.
For me personally, it was a game that I heard about quite a lot when I first got onto the internet. And the moment I got an emulator, well, for one thing, it was to play Sonic Hacks, and then I experimented with all the other games I could play because I didn't have a Mega Drive at the time and I didn't have a way to play Gunstar Heroes. I tried Dynamite Heady first, loved it, and then I thought, oh, what else has Treasure made? Found Gunstar Heroes, and it was just the perfect gun and gun for me. I loved all the characters and how expressive they were. I loved how it's like you could make different weapons and combo them together to make even better weapons. The story, I still like it. I love the music for it. I just everything. I just fell in love with everything for it. It's the same with Dynamite Heady actually. I just fell in love with everything, and I still love that game to this day. And hence,
I remember reading reviews of it in memes say will give it like 97%, and I just wanted it so it looked anyway. But yeah, I wasn't disappointed there. Well, I've got all treasures European cartridge games on Mega Drive, apart from Light Crusader, but I don't want that.
I really,
that's kind of a different game than the other ones, isn't it? As action game, that's a bit.
You know what I think is way better than Gunstar Heroes? Gunner's Heaven, also known as Rapid Reload.
That was literally just made to bootleg it.
Yes.
Literally, it's a bootleg of Gunstar Heroes.
Well, I played on PS1, part of the PS3 on the service.
Actually, on the name Rapid Reload. I don't want to copy it, but I used to see
it's an official Japanese game, though. It's on the PSN for PS3.
Yeah. Rapid Reload in Europe. It was like a launch title in Europe.
Yeah.
PS1.
I know of Rapid Reload because I've seen it in my local CX for £70, and then at one point £90, and
yeah, it's probably pretty expensive these days.
it's unfortunate like Gunstar Heroes for me. It's £90 in the UK, and I get a copy of Gunstar Heroes one way or the other, like a proper copy, not with like the classics collection on the Mega Drive.
I don't think Gunstar Heroes was that rare of a game.
I think it's less a case of the game being rare and more of the game being desirable.
Yeah.
I think so. I guarantee you, I bet the classics version is probably cheaper than getting an NXO, and even though it's the same game.
It is, but it's more games. I mean, pretty much all the games I've already got them anyway on my Mega Drive in via cartridge form. But it's like for Gunstar Heroes, it's because I like to have all the original manuals. That's why it's so expensive. If I didn't care about the manuals, then I probably would have got the game at this point. Probably got a box copy for about £30, which you could probably do if you looked in the right places. But because I want the manuals so badly, and I'm never likely going to find the manual on its own, I'm going to have to one day either beg my parents to get it for my Christmas or birthday, or save up the money myself.
I also think Metal Slug is way better.
Metal Slug came out after it, though.
Yeah.
So.
But that's a way better series, though.
Also Gunstar Heroes made by the people who made Contra, so what did...
Yes.
Also good.
It also feels a little bit unfair to compare an arcade game to a Mega Drive game, especially one that came much later than it.
No, I'm just saying, in my opinion, I just prefer Metal Slug over.
Oh, that's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to prefer a game that is newer and objectively superior in some aspects. Yeah.
Alien Soldier's hard, even on emulators.
I started a Let's Play of Alien Soldier. I got 2 episodes in and stopped. It was too hard for me.
I can never beat the 7th Force. That's about as far as I can get with cheats.
I think that's about as far as I can get with like using an emulator.
It's about 5 bosses in one health bar.
Though it was supposed to, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be 7 before, like the proper 7 Force, before development was cut short because of
the game wanted even more in it, but then these days you wouldn't even get a game with that many bosses ever made these days.
Which is
so rare. It'd be so rare for such a thing to exist. I mean, the only game I can think of with that many bosses in, which is actually in 3D, is a PS2 game by Sega called Blood Will Tell, which is basically
Dororo, yeah.
Dororo, yeah.
Osamu Tezuka's Dororo series, which got an anime 20 years later today, like right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the actual PS2 video game's a better ending than the anime version.
I mean, speaking of Tezuka, recently I've been dying to get a copy of Astro Boy Omega Factor, and I've just had the hankering to watch the 2003 anime again of Astro Boy because I loved that so much as a child.
You know, same here. I adored the 2003 Astro Boy as a child, but and yes, I am one of those people that preferred that
Mega
one.
Factor, it's not expensive. I saw you.
Fireballs are homing, holy shit.
I did,
That's not bad.
as I was saying, I did adore the 2003 Astro Boy, and I preferred the 2003 one over the old classic one, since I think the 2003 one is way better in those regards.
I've not seen any of the only ones. I only ever really watched Astro Boy 2003 when this is a very Scottish and British thing to do, which is waking up about 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning, ready to watch the cartoons that came on the BBC.
American thing as well. We call it Saturday morning TV over there.
Yeah.
No. It's specifically like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, putting on my TV in my room, like my old CRT, with the going to the analog channels onto the BBC One, waiting for the CBBC block on Smile when that was on, and just watching what they had, which consisted of like Astro Boy,
How you meant to do this in one go?
Well, you mentioned names I'm not even familiar with because I'm American.
Well, all I can say about Astro Boy game, GBA one's way better than Sonic Team's PS2 one.
Yes.
Agreed.
Oh yes.
Not that the PS2 one is terrible, just that it can't compare to Treasure.
You know, I heard, you know,
anyways. There's a really bizarre design feature, you know, you can't replay a level, so you're missing the collectibles, you can't pick them up again. And you can only have one save file per memory card. Why?
That's ridiculous. But then again, Astro Boy on the PS2 is also pretty much just Superman 64 on the PS2 because.
No, it plays better than that. All I said, that game is a nightmare to beat. And he's pretty easy, but the last final boss, you have to beat this rocket up for its Earth. And it's constantly firing homing missiles at you, and the camera just does not want to work with this fight. I was gonna say, what's so bad about the Sega Astro Boy game on PS2, but then you can walk around and stick your punch.
Let Jonathan finish his thought. Come on.
Sorry.
No, I said what's so bad about the Sega Astro Boy game on PS2, but then Gary had mentioned all of that.
It's not what I call an awful game, but it's terrible if you compare it to the GBA version.
And the fact that it starts out with a tutorial that gives you that we have to fly through rings, and that gives me huge Superman 60 flashbacks, and that's usually a bad thing.
I'm going to bring this stream to a close shortly.
Okay.
So I'm going to drop out of the voice lobby now.
Asura's Wrath, one of my favorite games.
He's not streaming it tonight, is he?
I think.
No, I think it's tomorrow.
No, it's today, I think.
He's streaming on a Sunday.
I'm just going to wait for him to do Shining Tear. Come on, Sega, give us a proper Shining Force game again. Get Camelot back. I'm pretty sure they've got time
tomorrow.
Paper, be patient and be happy we got another Shining game. And I heard it's a really great game.
I'm sorry, that's not.
More chance to get another proper actual turn-based RPG of Fantasy Star on Sega.
Yeah.
Dude, you're picky because we got Phantasy Star Online, which is the MMO part, but then the fourth game is confirmed to be the end of the series, and the saga's the end.
New ones don't have to be related to the previous. Be an RPG.
I'm sorry, but to me, Shining Force, the series should be strategy / tactical role-playing games like the original ones. Those are what I love.
Exactly, that's what I think.
I didn't really like Shining Resonance with Rain. It was an okay RPG, but it's just not a Shining Force.
Also, you don't have lots of the things that all the previous games had, didn't it? Where's all the centaur people and all that kind of stuff in them?
Exactly.
Where's the high fantasy?
Exactly.
Like, that's what Shining Force is meant to be, right?
After the... yeah.
Also, I just think that you guys are just judging it based on just the gameplay.
The strategy ones had a million different character races in them.
Is
And then
is
we
it
get
not
to the
fair?
action ones, it's just people's arms.
Is it not fair to judge a game in a game series for having completely different gameplay than every other game in that series so far?
Same can be said about every other game franchise that does that. I mean,
Yeah, you won't see me defending Resident Evil 4. As
Resident Evil 4 is a
great
game,
as great a game that is, look what it fucking did to Resident Evil.
4 is a great game. 5 is alright. 6, it's mixed. It's debatable, but it's 6.
No,
And
six
then
is
there's
like a whole-
Outbreak and Raccoon City and all these other games that were spawned out of the gunplay of Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 fucked Resident Evil.
4 is still an amazing
If you wanted
game, but I
Resident
see
Evil
what you mean.
4, you would put Resident Evil 4 in the case, put it on the shelf, and you'd pull out Haunting Ground. And you'd play Haunting Ground. Because that's
It's an
Resident Evil
amazing
4.
game.
Right, I'm going to drop out of the voice lobby now.
so-
It's been nice hanging out with you guys, as always.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to close the stream off the old-fashioned way. Later, haters! Okay, do the official sign-off. God, I'm tired. I need to get to sleep. Do the official sign-off in the chat. And then I'm going to go. Until next time, if we live that long.